Europe, and then came back, and when he could have chilled in Europe and said, you know what, I'm coming back and help my people. And from a former slave that was able to walk into the White House and give advice to the president for his people, that taught himself how to. You know how much a genius you got to be to do that. If he was white, he would be like the number one historical figure in the United States than what he did. That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of things that you really have to. We see that as African Americans, and we understand as we go to school with them. You know, again, when we're talking about
black people have a lot of individual geniuses, but collectively as a group, have we put it together? Can we go to Africa and see us working?
No race have a collective group of geniuses, man. What is this guy talking about? Elvis, there's no race.
Man, stop trying to appeal to these people, bro. They broken, bro.
If you go to Africa, even in Haiti, Principe, right? Did us as black people figure it out how to govern, how to prosper amongst ourselves?
Let me ask you this:
when was there a 50-year period without outside interference?
So we haven't figured out how to defend ourselves either. Okay.
Look, I work in the position bro. I work in the precision engineering sector in the UK, and this is the backbone of the white man's world. This is where they make a lot of the bits for engineering, weaponry, nuclear, planes for the, basically all to do flight, anything to do flying, like drones, all the bits that you need in this world, the machines that make it. I work in the sector. Without the brains of other people in the globe, the Europeans are nothing.
Right.
They're nothing.
I don't understand that.
They bring these people are good at bringing things together and market them. That's all they're good at. But if people that actually have this sort of mindset, thinking they're more superior, these are the people that are actually aiding them to be more superior. That's just the reality.
And if we teach the kids, to be honest with you, if we teach the kids your point of view, how you look at them.
Africa, do you go to the UK as an adult or do you go there as a child?
Listen, man, you're going to give the kids a bad. They're going to be, they're going to have a mentality of just, self-hatred. They're just not going to think positively of themselves.
Most of the education I had it from different people. The UK did not provide all my education. So
I'm not talking about your education. I'm just saying when you left Sierra Leone and went to the UK, did you do it as a kid or as an adult?
I went to school here. Most of my education I had here. But look, I came from an educated family. And also, in fact, most of my family who send their kids to Africa, to Sierra Leone, and partially studied in Sierra Leone and come back, they're the one that tend to do well, than those that actually lived here all their life.
But why did you go to get your education in the UK and not in Africa? Do you think the education there was better? Or did your father think the education over there was better than what you had?
Look, have you forgot? Do you have bad memory? Have you forgot what happened in Sierra Leone?
No,
why are you in the US? We all know we had a civil war. We all had to run away, and I came here and I stayed because my family, everyone dispersed. It's like Liberian civil war dispersed on that family. Let's just move on.
You got to get deeper.
I'm just telling you, as Africans, big black, right? Donis will tell you, if you go to Africa and you interact with a lot of Africans, a lot of them want to come here. They want to go to Europe, they want to go to the UK, they want to come to the United States.
That is true.
It's not because they love the white man, it's because they want to partake in what the white man has built, the economic system, the educational system.
That's because we don't do the system we had the system that they have here, we don't have it there. That's the only thing. It's not because they're better than us.
That's the point that I'm making. Is I never said white people are better than black. I'm just saying we benefit from whatever they put together.
You gotta outright say it. You're saying it by your sentiments. Every time somebody brings up an accomplishment, you try to tie it to some European, bro. So you don't have to say it.
I don't understand it. Why we gotta deny the truth? It's the truth.
No, but it's not deny. If somebody can bring an objective fact that has nothing to do with a European, you will find a way to tie it to a European.
No, the topic is about adjacency to white power or white people, right? That's what the topic is about.
Yes, and you are trying to say that they benefit from it more than they detracted from it as in their being, which is just not the case objectively. They taken more than they're given.
Okay.
Elvis is operating from a very dishonest position. Black Americans aren't immigrants in the USA. Our ancestors built this country. We fought for the rights of this country. Y'all diaspora immigrants, whether from the Caribbean or Africa, and this is not an insult, this is a fact. You could not come into the United States legally if it wasn't for the civil rights struggle. Hey, see, y'all try to dismiss it. Oh, y'all got no power. Y'all very ungrateful. You look down because you worship white people.
That's not
That's
me.
not true.
Oh,
That's
no,
not
no.
true.
Hold on.
Dinus knows me. I'd never disrespect African Americans on this platform. I've always stood up for them.
Y'all don't
don't know my
understand. Y'all
history.
really hold on. Y'all really don't understand American history. Y'all really think that Black
A
Americans
lot
were
of
just
them, but
handed everything.
let me say this: Elvis is respectful to African Americans, but that still doesn't, speak for you. It's some self hatred going there, Elvis. Let's be real.
But then there are more successful African
It's just the
in
reality.
Europe,
Big Black, if you're being honest,
compared
you
to
most likely
America,
work
right?
for a white corporation, if you're being honest with us, right?
But then,
You know,
but then, what I'm saying, there are more successful African in Europe compared to America. But the African that went to Europe were not helped by any black group over there. So it doesn't matter whether if we were to meet black people here or not. It's the
Let's not do
perception
the
and
versus
the
thing, man.
mentality of the person.
yeah, I'll never disparage the civil rights movement because
Nobody
I do think it
destroying
opened
them,
up the
but
way for Africans to come in for sure,
The
100%.
setbacks that we suffered in this country, I would most likely, most African Americans would probably be working for black people if it wasn't for all the setbacks that we had in this country since we got out of slavery. That's what we're trying to tell you.
So,
But can I concede the fact that I agree with Elvis on one point? The white man has created a system that works and it extracts knowledge from wherever it comes from, whether it's from Africa, whether it's from India, whether it's from Europe, and it works, right? But
That's what I said. That's what I said
Elvis, do you
earlier.
believe that Africa cannot do the same concept?
we can, but we haven't. That's the point. We haven't yet. So until we do,
Haiti,
we have to say
Jamaica,
that this one is
South
better.
Africa?
I mean, if you look at
No, we don't gotta say that.
if you look at the everything they got in Europe, it came from the Africa and the Middle East. Most of the things that they have in Europe today came from Africa and the Middle East. They don't hide it. They will tell you. If you do in-depth studies of a lot of the things that we do including engineering and so on, it will come from the Africa and Middle East.
yeah, but
There.
Africa. What I'm saying is that the black people, if you went there, you got helped by any black revolution, you got helped by any black struggle to be successful or to be in where you are. So saying that Africans are making it in America because of civil rights movement, it doesn't make sense. It will
No, but
make no
hold on,
difference
CD.
No,
at all.
CD, one
It will
second,
make no difference. I
CD,
mean,
look, the most
it depends
successful
on the
African,
person mentality when you come into the country. What are you
CD, in our
looking for?
look, in our countries and our ethnicity, with most successful group of people of ours, these are the people that are still in the continent. If you look at most of the rich people from my ethnic group and your ethnic group, and the most successful one, they stayed in the continent. They didn't leave.
Exactly.
So that,
Right.
City, your people would have came. You think your people could have came over here in the 40s?
Listen, I wouldn't even come here. It only Americans that used to go to my country. I left because of civil war. Let me tell you
black
that. That's what you don't know.
Americans,
CD,
also CD, black
Brother Black,
Americans
that's a
do
lost
Nigeria.
cause. You just gotta let him get it off, brother, because they done told him before, and he still come with the same sentiments.
Yeah, and black
can I ask
Americans
CD and
actually
my
viewed
brother
Nigeria.
Africa a question?
Yeah, go on, sir.
How were blacks treated in Europe pre
In England,
1940s and 50s, especially after the Windward? Because I heard that they were mistreated. Can you tell CD how they were treated in
yeah,
Europe?
yeah, absolutely. We learned this in the school in the UK. The city I live, they had what they call the bus boycott. These were all movements that stem from the US. Okay, um, the African Americans, activism is what helped Black Brits, gain their rights in this country. They used to actually physically come and galvanize, and spread awareness and help Black people in the UK and other ethnic minority. So it wasn't just limited to America. Like all this Martin Luther King era, Malcolm X era spread to the UK. So there's no doubt African Americans have paved the way for entire human race to gain some form of freedom, and actually, have some opportunity to have equal rights, some kind of equal footing, even though we're still struggling. It's not 100%, but based on their legacies, we are still. In fact, look, even BLM for that matter, you might laugh about this, right? And say, oh, this blah blah blah. But even BLM, the death of George Floyd in America, have actually made a lot of changes in the UK when it comes to policing, for that matter, and that's because of African Americans, civil rights movement and their mentality and their mindset that spread into Europe. So anyone that minimize that, they need the head to be checked. They got issues.
Not only them, the Africans too. There was Africans. Even when Paul Robeson went over there, he was saying that some of the people that helped him get more conscious was the African individuals over there, right? So the fight is a global thing. When you're trying to make it seem,
the Caribbeans, the boss. The boss boycott. It was the Caribbean, the Caribbeans, and the African Americans always work together. There's not a lot of Africans in the UK, if I'm honest with you. Back in the days, they're very limited Africans. Majority, I would say 90% of the black people that used to live in the UK were from the Caribbean. Okay.
No, I'm not talking about enslaved. I'm talking about like 1920s, 1930s.
Well, guys, let me read these super chats. AJ Niger, thank you for the $5 holla. White people are not superior than us. They are just more brutal than us. That's how they maintain power. JC Inc. Thank you for $1.99 holla. European built Europe themselves, no slaves.
That's a white boy on that count. Two Nigers yet to speak though.
Oh, go ahead,
to Nigel. Unmute yourself, to Nigel.
Yeah, thanks, Diners. Thank you for having me, and greetings to all the panelists, the chat, and to the viewers. About the topic, the title, it says whether African Americans and South Africans suffer from proximity to whiteness. I think you have both. They've suffered in this, especially African Americans have suffered in the sense that. Not like South African, the African Americans lost their ties to their tribes, their leadership structure that they normally had in Africa that completely dissolved, their languages, and the brutality that was visited on them directly with all the historical stuff that we all know about. So that is a big negative. The South Africans experienced it in a different way, in that they were in their own land and they were being oppressed there. So their oppression is, if for want of a better word, is less severe compared to the African American one. The disconnect the African Americans feel is a lot more absolute compared to that of the South Africans. And the African Americans, from what I can see, there is also the flip side. The proximity to the whiteness also gives them proximity to power. Hence why within the black community, they tend to be the foremost group that the black community has, and may also be part of the changing of the direction of the community if we leverage it well enough. After all, America is the superpower of the world. And from the point of view of Africa experiences it in a different way. We suffer from not proximity to whiteness. We suffer from distance from whiteness because we don't see the face of our oppressors like the African Americans do. We see the face of the oppressors in our own people. So sometimes being close helps you see clearly and understand the challenges you face more clearly. While in Africa, the distance makes it very hard to convince or deal with the problem, actually, because I believe if African Americans had the kind of population that Africa has and has the resources and see the oppression directly, they will act and it will end. But Africans don't see it because they see it in the face of their own people, and instead of them to fight it, they aspire to be like it. So from the point of view, in the case of South Africa, I don't think that South Africans, their own issue is that they became free quite recently, and sometimes we forget that they've also been kind of colonized or oppressed for longer than most African countries. Like in the case of Nigeria, the British were there to colonize for about 59 years. That was it. South Africa was hundreds of years. They were there. So the way they look at the world will be slightly different. And I actually think they look at Africans as if they are somewhat superior because they are closer to white people, which is crazy. In the end, I don't think it's only suffering. It also offers opportunities to elevate oneself. And I think it's a bit of a shame because that's one of my biggest frustration. Anybody that knows me know that that's one of my biggest frustration, that Africans and African Americans and the diaspora have not leveraged this proximity to power to better our lot. Because I can't conceive any world where America will turn against 13% of its population just because they demand something. That will be the end of America as a nation, because that civil war will never end. And I just feel like Black Americans have not necessarily realized their power, just like Africans themselves have not really realized their power. Sooner or later, we have to figure something out. So I don't think there is too much to be said about it. You can't compare African Americans and South Africans. I don't think it's similar at all. It's very, very different. African Americans, what they've experienced is far more absolute than what the South Africans have experienced. Thank you.
Well, South African, I don't think the way people think of apartheid was like that. The white people came, they said, we don't want you guys to marry white women. We don't want you guys to use our system. You build your own stuff. But because Black people are too sensitive, they say, oh, they are oppressing, or they don't want to use their stuff. They say, we don't want you guys to go to our school. You build your own school. So if the South African Black 51 million were to build stuff for themselves, I don't think they will be fighting the other Black people that have built things for them, right? So they refuse to build stuff for themselves.
CD, my big brother, let me push back on you, bro, right? In defense of the South Africans, right? The one thing that the white people had advantage of, they had connection to other Europeans, whether it was from the Netherlands, Germany, the UK. They were doing business with those people, so they had an advantage. When most of Africa was colonized, so the Africans there were at a great disadvantage. But again, to my point, you're making my point. As Black people, are we capable of really building a first class society devoid of any outside help, so to speak, white people in particular? Have we done it before? Even Liberia, right? Let's talk about our country. Let's talk about our homeland.
We can do it again. That's
one second,
we need to be organized.
Yeah, you're right. 1 second. I was talking about Liberia today, right? And guys like to bring up Liberia, right? Our executive mansion, we credited like 60% of our GDP, which is like 15 million United States dollars at the time. That was our like 15 or 60% of our GDP at the time. And it put us in a economic hardship just to build our executive mansion with a high interest, loan. When President Tubman took that loan to build the executive mansion.
It was Tubman that built it, though.
No, Tubman. Tubman built the executive in 1960. So I'm just saying, most of our infrastructure, we didn't have the capital to build them on our own because we had so much money. We had to borrow money, high interest rates to build our infrastructure. We either got it from the United States government after World War II, like our airport and our seaport, or we borrow money at high interest rate to build our biggest, landmarks in our country. So when people talk, they act as if Black people on the continent was doing it in isolation from Europeans. Most of the monies that we had brought in was from European countries. We borrowed them, we pay high interest, we gave them concession, sweetheart concession deals, just so that we can have access to some of the things they had access to because we didn't have the funds to do it on our own. Just our reality.
But I manufactured the modern markets, man. Like, what are we talking about?
One second. I mean, I live in the UK, right? I live in the UK. During the Second World War, the Americans came to help the UK to fight Hitler. They did not help the UK for nothing. It was a loan. Each and single gun and a bullet, the UK have to pay it back with interest, and they still had to pay for that. So this loan and saying we owe debt. This is only African people are actually dying over this stuff, and also loan on what? Based on how much mineral resources they looted from the countries. It's like take from there and give back there. It is like the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth say, "Oh, we're all part of the Commonwealth." It's like one of my English friends said to me, "The Commonwealth What is yours is mine. What is mine is not yours. That's what the Commonwealth is. Okay, and this is a system that they have used over the years, and they're still using it in the francophone country. That's why you see the AES is fighting back on things like that because it's a system that they created. Again, it's going back to the systems, but because these people are unified group, they unified on one thing. They unified on race, okay, and they've unified on believing that they're more superior to you, and they mentally have already got you to believe that. So if someone already mentally can get into you, boom. I mean, look at Liberia and Sierra Leone. When we had the civil war, did these people came in to help us? No. I'm going to play a little Google here. Thank God to the Sokoto, the creator. And so thank God to the creation of the Sokoto Caliphate in northern Nigeria, the Nigerian state, who are the one that came and rescued Sierra Leone and Liberia. The Americans didn't. The British, they only came to the end of the war. Okay, they came right at the end of the war to rescue their guy who was being captured by the West Side boys outside Freetown. And guess what they did? They brought the SAS with the Apache, and they realized, oh, the Nigerian ECOMOG and the Guinea troops already gained the ground. One second. They already gained ground. So what we could do? Let's trade.
I gotta get in next.
Yeah,
because y'all talking, y'all not letting nobody else in.
Yeah, let's play the Mr. Savior.
Monsake hasn't spoken yet, though, brother.
Okay, so we can do it if we got the mindset and we unite. We forget about this tribalism, these religious differences, and believe that these people are better than us. We have a system that make all of us work and say, "Oh, American Liberians are foreigners," or this guy is a Christian, this guy is a Muslim, or this person is from the north, or this from the south. These are the things that they have used, to divide us and mess us about. During the days of Liberian War, we were very united. The reason why we have and Sierra Leone War, the reason why we had those wars, we know it was outside influence. It's not internal. And if God forbid, if we have any of that today, it would be so dangerous because we are highly divisive. And this is what they do. So we need to,
the Liberian War was eternal, bro. It was a tribal, flare up.
It was stirred up by Charles Taylor, who came from outside.
Okay. No, it was started by Samuel Doe.
I don't think Charles Taylor.
It was started by Samuel Doe, who targeted certain ethnic groups, and they retaliated. So,
yeah.
But Charles Taylor just found opportunity to get into the ethnic group.
Without Charles Taylor, trust me, that war would. If it wasn't for Charles Taylor, that war would have been contained. I guarantee you. But he made it. Right.
But Sierra Leone, they don't have tribalism in Sierra Leone, except now.
No. We hate that. Even now, we're very united when it comes to tribe and religion. We don't have it.
School there.
Don't like it. We don't.
In politics,
even
though, with the political party, the Mende and the Timmy, they kind of on one side, on different side of the political spectrum.
Look.
Well, I mean, the average, it's not like if you look at how Saj Musa, right? The Saj Musa, the guy that they killed, and
we got to pass the mic to the other people.
Monsake has yet to speak, brother.
Let him speak, please.
I can speak, right?
Yeah. So we don't have tribalism in Sierra Leone, Elvis.
Brother, Monsake has yet to speak.
Okay, calm down. Monsake, greetings.
Hey, what's up, man? Peace and love to chat. I hope everyone's doing well. So to add to the topic, I definitely want to respond to Elvis, man. When you said about FBAs, they weren't building, and they needed white people to build, man. Yeah, you was totally incorrect on that, man. Because there were plenty prosperous communities like Black Wall Street and Rosewood. If they haven't got destroyed, those communities today would have been prosperous, and it would have been very elegant and very wealthy if those communities didn't get destroyed. It was kind of wrong on that, right?
I didn't say that.
You said that they needed white people in order to build, and I'm like, that's not.
That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
No, that's exactly what you said, Elvis.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard when I was listening to you.
No, my point I made about the institutions that we work for or we go to school. They're predominantly white institutions. That was the point I was making. Somebody else said something about Black people didn't build anything and all of that.
Yeah, I said that they did not. If they were to keep separate from white people and not to depending on what white people build, they could be more successful than what black people are going through right
But
now. It's the same thing in South Africa.
okay,
So I say that.
City, that is wrong because they had banks, they had jobs, they had communities, they had all that stuff. But unfortunately, those communities and that got destroyed because
But that's what I'm saying. The other race went through it. The Italians went through it. The Irish went through it. But they fight
they
and they
didn't. They
build
didn't.
stuff for
No, no,
themselves.
no, no, no. They didn't go through the same thing, man.
I'm talking
Nah.
based on history. What the
Italians came
Italian
here. Listen. Italians came in the country. Same thing with the Jays. They came here, and what happened was during that time, they was discriminated, whatever. So there was committing crime until they got classified as white, and that's when all that changed. But other than that, they didn't get it as bad as FBAs.
But what I'm telling you right now, all the businesses that Italian built in New York, especially when they started in Brooklyn, they destroy all their businesses. Same with the Irish, but they fight the system and they stood on their ground.
So are you saying that?
If black people were to decide,
City, are you saying that FBAs did not fight neither? Is that what you're saying?
no, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if they were to go their separate way and say, well, we accept segregation and build stuff on our own, all the scientists that the black people had, they could build things and depend on themselves than what white people build. This is what South Africa is going through. They don't believe that they can build anything without white people, even though they have resistance from white people.
I'm going to just slightly disagree, but let me continue. We'll circle around on that conversation, right? And to Passport King, right? Some stuff he says is very disingenuous when he talked about the 1965 Civil Rights Bill. Now, if you want to sit there and say yes, FBA's fought for that bill, indeed, yes, they did. But guess what? Also, other groups also fought with FBA to get that bill passed, right? And yes, hold on. So that bill get passed, and immigrants did come here. But prior to 1965, and just to sit there and say like no black immigrants came in the country is just BS. You had Cabo Verde people was coming here, Black Caribbeans, and some Africans. Not all, because they put a limit on what Africans can come in the country. And then the last thing is, and I'm gonna call you out on this, Passport King. The last conversation we had on this panel, we talked about TPS. You called out the Haitians. Okay, granted, right? When I asked you about the Ukrainians, about the 500,000 Ukrainians that's on TPS, do they have a valid claim? You sat here in front of everybody. You said that yes. I think that the Ukrainians have a valid claim. Even though your argument is saying that how immigrants should get out, I'm thinking that all immigrants should get the same treatment. You didn't say that about the Ukrainians.
But guess
and
what?
Then you
I
sat
said,
here and
hold
then,
on.
and then
I
then
said
hold
the
on,
Ukrainians have a valid claim. I ain't saying
before y'all change the topic, can I jump in?
Hold on, I'm not. I got you. Hold on. And then to sit there in the back chat talk about how that black immigrants worship white people, bro. I don't. Like I said, I can't speak for no other people or other FBAs, but you, my man, you worship white people, man. And that's all I gotta say.
Hey, let me jump in real quick. Let me jump in because I've been on the sideline for a minute. Again, this go back to what the problem that we have is we have a lot of people that's not Black American that speaks on Black American history that's very incorrect. So when people talk about the Italians and the Polacks and they went through things in a context of comparing it to what Black Americans went through, the conversation is over. It's not even worth. Like, you can't be an immigrant and make that kind of statement when you don't know what you're talking about. So like, because I can ask you, well, what happened after Hayes pulled the troops out with the 1877 compromise, and from 1877 all the way up into 1970, what happened to Black Americans? It's not even close the same as what the Italians and Polacks went through. Like we should. It's actually. I'm being honest and respectful to the panel. But if you're an immigrant and you come up here and make that statement, that's highly disrespectful.
Very disrespectful
to the group of people because you're not educated. Because you're making a. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Bro, why are you still talking if I'm talking? The fuck. What I'm saying is, if we got a history and the history's there. From 1877, from cities that was burned down, right? Blowing up churches, killing little girls, we had to get executive orders put on the books just to protect us, right? Amendments set in place for us, not other groups, us. So it's not the same. Did other groups go through certain things? Yeah, but it's not the same. So you cannot use those in the same context. And another thing, and I'll land here and I'll just be quiet. When Elvis, when you use the term them being superior, when that African brother spoke about 20 minutes ago, and he said this, a lot of Africans see their own people as the enemy. We see white people different because of our proximity to them and the way that we operate towards white people. You guys rather come here and put your nose up in some white cooch or get a white man as a husband and join the system where we're fighting against it because you see your own people. I didn't say that. The African brothers said that. And the way that they operate on the continent. These are the real fundamental conversations that we should have if we want to really get somewhere. But don't come up here as an immigrant and try to compare our story to the other immigrant story. It's not the same.
Yeah, that's very disrespectful, bro. That's extremely disrespectful,
Africans. Dinus is comparing the South Africans to African Americans. That's the topic of the show, brother. It's not
he juxtaposed us what we went through over here to the Italians and Irish, bro. That's extremely disrespectful, bro.
Also, but listen, nobody is saying that they didn't destroy anything from African American. But the thing is, you cannot say something was destroyed from it, then you don't want to resist.
But shit,
okay, I mean, it just dissipated in pocket.
CD, who was Philip Randolph? CD,
I don't even know what you mean by disrespect.
Hey, CD, let me ask you a question.
It's disrespectful because you compare them to a dynamic that are completely different.
Let Bishop.
Let me ask CD a question.
All right.
Let me ask CD a question. Since you said that we don't want to resist, I'm holding you to what you're saying out your mouth. So you made that comment, right? I'm gonna see how educated you are on our history. Who was A. Philip Randolph?
When I say resist, let me go to a
no, stop. I heard you. Who was A. Philip Randolph? Answer the question.
For me, I'd like to move forward. I don't want to.
No, listen to that. No, but this is what I'm saying. Based on what you're saying.
History
no, but CD, listen.
Back.
CD, over talking me not gonna make it no better. What I'm saying to you is you're making a comment on a Black American history and using it in reference to other groups. And when I'm responding back to you because I comprehend well, my brother. So we having a conversation. So based off of what you said,
it may not have the same.
Brother, listen to what I'm saying. Listen, this is what all you Africans do. Y'all too arrogant. Listen to me. Let me talk. Stop cutting me off.
You don't have to yell. We having normal conversation.
Bro, I'm trying to talk, but you keep I'm trying to talk to you, but you keep over talking me.
But then when you give me a question that I want to answer, then you cut me off.
No. I never got it off. You keep talking.
Okay. Just be civil, guys. Just one at a time. Yeah, see the way
you still talking. You ain't shut up yet. All I'm saying is
you don't have to yell, man.
Oh my God, brother. What? See, that's what I'm saying. This is the problem. I was quiet when you was making your statements. I wasn't saying nothing. I was listening to you. So when I came in,
trying to be emotional, you're not
brother,
understanding. You're not listening to me.
Brother, what's wrong?
You're not listening to me.
No, let me say what I'm saying.
Okay.
You just asked me a question, City.
All right.
You made the statement about us, and I heard you about our story and what other groups been through certain things and our resistance. So I came in and I heard that. I comprehend well, and I said, cool, you don't understand the 1877 compromise and what we've been through, and you cannot compare other groups that came here through Ellis Island through what we've been through when we've been here since longer than the 1600s fighting. So now what I'm asking you is, when you use the word resistance in reference to us, I'm asking you, who was A. Philip Randolph?
Listen, when I say resisting, you talk about violent, and this is not what I'm talking about, because all your mentality is violent. Resistance.
This is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. This is what they be talking about, bro. This is why y'all put fire to these FBA people, bro. This is crazy.
If I put in a house, right, someone come and destroy it,
let him finish.
So let us say, for example, that's why we don't have to depend on history. What happened to us? What happened to that? We have a lot of opportunity right now. You have a lot of options.
Okay,
If you
but
think you
City,
cannot build anything,
City.
then you cutting me off. What do
No,
you
hold
have?
on,
That how
hold
do you
on. But
guys want
City,
to talk?
City. Let me ask you a
I'm not
question.
cutting you off.
I'm
City,
trying to
City. Hold
to
on,
explain. I
hold on.
said
City,
you're not giving me the
hold on.
opportunity to
City,
talk.
City. Are you saying that FBA's never fought? Is that what you're saying?
No. That's not what I'm saying. So my thing is, let's say Black Wall Street was burned down, right? How many Black Wall Street was burned down? Maybe one or two, right?
No, not
No,
one or
no,
two,
Okay.
yo.
no,
Let us say
no.
10
What
Wall
is
Street
This is
was
what
burned
they be
down.
no?
10,
saying, bro.
okay, let us say 10 was burned
This is
down.
this is what they be saying. Them FBA
Okay,
people, bro. And
let's say 10
your
was burned
sentiments
down,
ain't
right?
reflecting that,
Let me
bro.
finish. 10 was burned down, right? If someone burned down your house, right, and continue to burn down your house, you cannot sit on the side and say, well, yeah, they're burning all my stuff down and hold on to that history for the rest of your life. Right? When I say resistance, try to build something at the same time as long as the person start getting build something because nobody's not going to sympathize with you if you're not building.
Hold on, y'all. Hey, hold on, y'all. Cause listen, now hold on, real quick. Listen, I'm glad that he said that.
So,
But now hold on, real quick. Hey, look,
so
I get that.
that's what I'm comparing it with the other immigrant. I mean, it
No,
may
but
not
this where
have
you
the
wrong,
same, it may
CD.
not have the same magnitude. It may not have the same magnitude that what happened to Black
That's a
Americans.
major
No, see,
factor.
But at the
Like, what are
same
we talking
time,
about? If
Yeah,
it's
you
not the
cannot
same
be
magnitude, why are you
teaching
comparing
this
it?
to your generation
City,
to
you
your
wrong.
generation to say,
no,
oh, we
CD.
were
This
You're
where
victim,
you
we were
wrong.
wrong,
You're
victim,
CD.
and
wrong,
hold on to
City.
No,
that.
hold on, real
You're
quick, y'all.
wrong.
Real
You're
quick,
wrong.
CD. This where you wrong. Let me address that.
You
You
cannot hold
said
on to negativity all through the
But
rest
hold
of your
on, listen,
life. You
CD.
got to
Let
build
me
on
address
something.
that. Slow down, calm down. Let's have a dialogue. Calm down. Don't filibuster. You said you made a statement. You said that when somebody burned our house down, we don't just sit there and hold on to that history. And the reason why I asked you who A. Philip Randolph was because it wasn't associated with violence. It was associated with building the black middle class in America that other immigrant groups came here and benefited from because they created the Pullman Porters. He sat next to presidents. We were the ones getting executive orders before the civil rights bills put on the books. Because of him is why black Americans were able to get their GI bills in the military. We were the one. Our grandparents were the ones on the front line doing these things. When you had other immigrants that was able to come into our movements because of they was adding on to what we were already doing, and our arms were always open. When you make the statement that we're just holding on to that history, that's incorrect. So I got to correct you when you say that because you guys are able to come here and benefit because other black people fought to create the economic streams that wasn't there. That's why I asked you who A. Philip Randolph was, and if you don't know, you're not qualified to speak on our history.
But that's what I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, City, you can't speak on it,
What
man. You
I'm
don't know,
saying is
bro.
that if we continue to
City,
teach
you
the
were wrong,
generation
man.
what happened
City, you
to
were
us,
wrong, man. You were wrong, man.
if you guys continue to depend on what, let me finish my statement. Let me answer to what he said. So if you continue to bring those negativity into the thousand of generation that coming behind, it's not going to take black people anywhere, right? It's almost like the Palestinians crying every day. It's no
Wow,
solution to it,
wow, this is
right?
crazy,
So
man.
all we
Yo,
need to
man, that
do,
sounds
all we need to do
crazy,
is to
man.
move forward
City,
and
you
try to
wrong,
build.
bro.
But if you continue to say, "Oh, we were targeted. This will happen to us," and people get those type of
So, all right,
negativity at the back
CD,
of their
CD,
mind,
City, you
what's
they're
your
not going to
definition of
wrong.
build.
moving forward?
You just got to
What's your
move forward.
definition of moving forward,
There's a
CD?
lot of
What's your
opportunity now.
definition?
City, let me ask you a
City, you
question.
wrong, man. You wrong, man.
Let's cut to the chase. City,
By that statement, you should be back
let
in
me ask you a quick
Liberia. You
question,
should move
City.
on and be back in Liberia. Go to Liberia.
City,
If you can make that
You don't
statement,
have
City,
to
let me
tell
ask
me
you a
you
that.
should
question.
forgive the government in
Hold on,
Liberia and be back
guys.
home,
Let's how
build
we
in
strip this
Liberia.
down.
Forgive them people. Move
Hold
on.
on, let's how we strip
But
this down. City, let me ask
if
you a
you don't
question.
travel
Once
to
we get
Africa, there are a
Africa,
lot of African Americans that are going to Africa and build. Donis go to Africa. People
No,
got
but
a lot of options.
CD, if you make
So
that
if you're
Exactly.
statement
not
about
working
us,
for
I
you
can
here, you
apply the
can't go
same to
anywhere.
you.
Yeah,
CD, I can
You can't go
apply the same
anywhere.
City,
statement to
you
you,
were
my
wrong,
brother.
man.
City,
You were
what is
wrong, man.
redlining?
I always, think yes, it's about time African people learn a lot from African Americans when it comes to, internal politics in America and also in the Caribbean, in the UK. African migrants should learn from the locals who already been here when it comes to internal politics. They can decide who they want to vote for, where they want to go, but it's best to have that baseline understanding of the situation they find themselves in. Because I look the straight TV. I agree to most of the stuff that you said, but see the understanding is more like a kind of practical and a business mindset, but it doesn't work necessarily work like that in this day and age. And looking at the covert racism, because covert racism is what we're struggling with. Then we know the covert racism is what linger around. Then obviously we see the thing that boils up in the surface. And what people like CDC and most of the Africans is the one that boiled in the surface. They don't see the covert racism. And
I agree with you, brother.
That. Yeah,
I agree with you, but let me ask you.
I want to school you. I know African American history. I
Hold
live
on,
in
CD.
one of the African American history. Look, I'm
Hold on
talking.
for a second, CD. Let somebody else speak.
But
Let me
wrong,
respond to
man.
the brother real quick. The difference between me and I'm gonna tell you the difference, my brother. I get it, but I can't give CD that excuse, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't understand all African politics, but I'm as a 51-year-old grown man, I respect other black men and black people and Africans enough that if I don't understand the full entails about their story, I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm not gonna speak on certain things if I can't speak to the whole story.
I think I know more about African American history than you. I will tell you that.
Oh no, don't
This is what I'm saying.
Bro, CD, you are extremely arrogant, bro. You are an extremely arrogant individual, bro. Real talk, bro. You are very arrogant.
Tell him, CD.
You couldn't even name who A. Randolph was, and you trying to tell this man you know more about his history than him. You are an arrogant person, bro. Real talk.
You know the history of African
Nah, bro, you are extremely arrogant, bro. You are extremely arrogant and disrespectful, bro. Real talk.
You're being arrogant, man.
Being African American doesn't necessarily mean that you know the African American history.
Okay,
No,
City,
but if you're not educated on it, then
wait, hold on. There's no need to argue. Let's test them. City, explain redlining in the USA. Since you know Black American history, please tell what is redlining.
Are you testing me? Why would I answer to someone like you? If you're a Caribbean, if a Caribbean person gave me a question on African American history, I would not answer
bro. He didn't even know who A. Randolph was, bro. It's over with.
You gotta pay dollars to $30.
First of all,
his Caribbean heritage.
You can't even name who A. Randolph was. And you gonna tell this brother you know more about his history than him, bro. You just arrogant, bro. You very arrogant, bro. That's out of bounds, bro.
African American doesn't even know their own history.
City. So
go easy. Let's be reasonable. Okay.
Let me ask City
what is redlining.
It doesn't matter if someone being African American doesn't necessarily mean that he knows his history. You are a Caribbean. You are a fake African American. So I know that for a fact.
City, that should be a simple question.
That's why. Listen, I'm ready to answer to that. If I answer that, that's a disrespect to myself. I will not answer to that. Because why? It makes no sense. It makes no sense why would I want to answer to something like that? This is a common sense.
You're a very arrogant person, man, for real.
This is a common sense.
You need to have some humility, bro. This is really bad.
I want all foundational Black Americans to learn something from this conversation. I want y'all to see how arrogantly they speak on us and how respectful we are.
But brother, don't generalize as all of them, brother. Come on, let's not do that,
I'm not saying everybody. Listen, if the snow you gonna hit. I'm not doing that.
But I'm saying on average, though. On average, they're not going to do that. He just arrogant.
We know we're not talking about everybody, but what I'm saying is in these spaces, right? There's so many Africans that come here that feel comfortable talking about us and telling us how we should and what this should be. But the whole thing is, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in Cameroon like that to be. If I go to Cameroon, I'm gonna shut my mouth and I'm gonna ask questions. I don't know the full story like that.
But the African bishop, the Africans, they live here, right? They live amongst you. Some of the things that affects you affects them. So they can speak on certain things. We may not know all of your history, but certainly
you're right. But listen to what I'm saying. In the context of a conversation, when you're talking about our story, right, and you're incorrect, and I
What
say,
story? What make
listen
your
to
own
what I'm
story?
saying.
What make your story?
But
CD, we do have to respect. We do have to respect their history, CD. This is their country.
I respect the history.
So let's not be too, disrespectful to them, CD.
You're not even respecting this now while we talking. You're not even showing me respect now.
Average. What am I saying that I did not say the African
I
American.
told you. Listen to what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You asked a question. I'm gonna tell you. When you made the comment about the other immigrants, right? And you compared us to the other immigrants, and I challenged you on that. And I explained to you after the 1877 compromise with the black codes and Jim Crow and what they was able to do, right, to our cities and all the things that we fought to get executive orders, not the civil rights bill, the executive orders that was on the books that we was fighting for in the 40s and the 50s, right, just to get housing, the military bills, right, when they was building suburbs and they wasn't giving us, we wasn't able to create equity to build any wealth in this country because they kept us out. Other groups was able to pass for white. So when I asked you, who was A. Philip Randolph and the Pullman Porters, when you can't answer that question, all I'm saying respectfully to you.
So let me answer. Let me answer to you. Wait a minute. You can't continue to be talking.
You keep cutting me off. What I'm saying to you,
let him finish, CD.
Okay.
What I'm saying to you in this conversation, my brother, when you make that statement, but I'm telling you how we created wealth because we couldn't through the Pullman Porters created the middle class through A. Philip Randolph. When you don't know who that is and you're comparing us to other groups, you're not qualified.
Okay, do you want me to respond to you now?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that, guys, you're listening, man. Please, this is not time to interrupt. I'm giving my opinion, so please.
Okay, we're listening.
Okay, so what the other immigrant group went through, it may not have the same magnitude as what African American going through, right? Everything that you said right now is 100% correct, right? But why can't we move forward and stop preaching this all the time? Because this negativity affecting everybody, right? Let me finish. Did I say that the African American did not go through struggle? No. I don't know why you guys trying to be so emotional. But can we hold on to that negativity for the rest of our life?
No, what negativity? Just call it the history what it was.
I think you guys are misunderstanding CD. CD is saying yes, terrible things happened to you in the past, but it's not. Is it hindering you now from developing and being your best self? That's what he's saying.
Yes, it is, bro. That's what I'm. To make that statement, you being willfully obtuse.
What Daniel said, right? Daniel said he benefited. He went to white school, right? Daniel went to white school, right? He got a scholarship, right? If you are to hold on to, I'm not going to no white school. I'm going to fight white men because they burned down Wall Street. I'm not going to do anything. But he threw behind all this negativity and pursue his career, right? The other brothers that refuse to do that.
You don't understand. That's correct, but you don't understand the
CD is saying, in spite of the setbacks from Black Americans, other has raised it above the history of your people and become successful.
That's true, and we can do better. But what he's doing is discounting what the system does, bro, which is normal.
So the thing is, you make a lot of brothers being so hungry with the system. And then get into trouble with the law, right? If you have to all the time,
that has nothing to do with it, bro.
I'm gonna ask you one question, City. I'm gonna ask you one question, City. Patrick, hold on. I got you. Give me 1 second, City. Do you say that by the Jewish community when they talk about what happened in the Holocaust? Do you say that to them to forget their history?
They talk about their history, but they're still doing very well.
That make no sense.
Hold on. CD, answer the question, CD. I like to hear your response.
Yes, I will tell the Jewish people to move on. I will tell any have moved on. That's why they're getting a lot of success. That's why they're not holding to everything that happened to them. Nobody is denying what Black people went through. But why you think a lot of brothers end up in prison? Because they are so hungry. They see white men, they want to fight them. And they saw them, they end up being in prison.
This is crazy, bro.
Jews use the Holocaust as a crutch to build up themselves and to defend themselves. They use it to benefit themselves.
They benefit themselves. They hold on to say, They went down with Black Wall Street. I want to be
Nah, but
selling
yeah,
drugs.
they did.
They
They didn't have a critical mass of their people going to the Germans and trying to say the Germans were superior because they had conquered it for a minute.
Let's move on.
Like y'all do.
City, you know why
crazy, bro.
is very
Let's move on. I mean, let's move on. Let's move on.
Hey,
you know why
I can prove how disingenuous this is. Hey, and you know,
go ahead, George. Let
y'all want to hear something that's funny?
Go ahead, George.
Listen, and let me say this real quick. Let me say this, and I'm gonna get ready to jump off. And nobody can dispute what I'm saying now because it's already been documented and said. So many Africans and brothers and sisters from the Caribbean, grow up saying they watched us as Black Americans. They seen us. They watched our culture, our influence, and everything. And they emulated us, and they wanted to be like us, and they wanted to come over here. So when CD's making a statement, he's being disingenuous because, first of all, 90% of y'all come here because you saw other successful people that look like you already being successful here. So despite us complaining about the white men and what they've done, there's millions of successful Black people all across America, right? And they're not on TV, right? We're not all just doing bad, living in ghettos. We're doing well. And you guys saw that. That's why you came here, because you saw people, oh man, there's people that look like me. Y'all was already copying our stuff. So when you make that statement about us just saying moving on, we moved on.
Yeah, but because of this.
Wait a minute, CD.
You're not getting my point.
Wait a minute. Let me
going back to success.
Let me land my plane.
You're not listening to my point. You're not getting me.
Let me finish my point. What I'm saying is,
so the thing is,
what I'm saying is, our grandparents fought for certain things, and we have Black people all over the place doing great things. When we have these conversations, it's disingenuous because it sounds as if all of us just live in the ghettos and we not accomplishing nothing. We don't own nothing. We ain't doing all we doing is complaining.
Nobody's saying that.
Let me land the plane. What the fuck?
No, nobody is saying that. I don't know why you getting that. Why you getting emotional?
Donnie, that's a 10 out of 5, Donnie.
Bro, hold on. Listen, I'm speaking.
Who said the N-word?
Nah, he just said the F word. He didn't say the N-word.
I didn't say the N-word. I didn't say that. What I'm saying is,
I don't even know what this guy is.
Wait a minute, CD.
Which language you want me to explain this thing to you?
No, I didn't finish.
Can I say something real quick after George, man? Can I say something after you, brother?
Let me finish. I'm gonna be 20 seconds. Let me finish. I'm gonna be 20 seconds, and then you can explain. All I'm saying is, in the context of this conversation, when we're talking about our story, that does not negate the fact that we are successful still. We own property. Yeah. We doing all kinds of things.
Nobody's saying that. Your own property. Nobody's saying that. You don't have to be repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself.
No, big bro, let the man finish.
But you keep interrupting him. That's why.
Hold on. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. George, calm down. George has a minute. If you interrupt again, he getting fined. There we go. You interrupt, you get a $10 fine. George, you got a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, in the context of this conversation that we having right now, when you were saying that, we complain in the white man and we're talking about our story, it's time for us to move on. What I'm saying is, Dynas is a reflection of that. He went to college. He's become the best version of himself. We have over succeeded at a lot of things that our grandparents fought for. We're not just in the ghetto, poor, complaining about the white man. Yes, we're telling our story, absolutely, but we're successful as well. And the reason why y'all here is because we're successful. You guys have told us that scores many times. So let's stop being disingenuous in these conversations. We have every right to tell our story and talk about the things that happen to us, but that doesn't mean that we're not doing great things still in this country. Just because the 10% is the loudest in the room. There's many successful Black people. So I land there.
Right.
Okay, can I talk now?
Can I say something real quick, brother?
Big bro, big bro.
No. Actually, let Prince P go. Go ahead, Prince P.
Yeah, salute to Salute to Dynas, beautiful panel, beautiful ideas being balanced and talked about. I have a statement, then 2 questions. My statement is that we all gotta learn to respect each other's struggle, because if Haiti didn't stand, Haiti wouldn't be free. If African Americans didn't stand, African Americans wouldn't be free. If Africans didn't stand in the continent, Jamaicans, if they didn't stand, they wouldn't be free. So we got to understand and respect each other's struggles. That's first and foremost. And one of my statements is, again, to the FBA cats, you see on the panel, the majority of Africans and Caribbeans and even African Americans are in agreement that CD is wrong. So when they try to paint this idea that we all believe and are like CD, this is one of those false narratives they like to push. And
CD is not wrong.
Third, my last
I don't
statement.
even know what you mean by I'm wrong. It makes no sense, right?
My last statement is
misunderstanding his point.
Let me ask a question because especially the FBA types and some of the extremist South Africans, are they missing out on organizing and creating a stronger system? Good job. A stronger system because like what Elvis is talking about, because when people like George is saying that a lot of different individuals from the Black world used to come to America to study with African Americans, and the same thing is happening in South Africa. Are they both missing out on the opportunity to organize the Black race and create a new system to challenge all the other races? And that's my last question. Salute to Diners. God bless you. Beautiful panel, and I'm out.
Okay, I have a question for the panel, right?
Oh, hold on, CD. Give me 10 seconds, right? Give me 10 seconds. People like Larry Elders, right? People like Chief Justice Clarence Thomas. These educated Black men, right? They have a different perspective on how Black people can rise up, so to speak. And they tell you that stop dwelling on the history of slavery and Jim Crow. You have an opportunity now that you've never had in the history of your people in this country to be better, to be your best self, to become millionaires, to be educated, to do everything and anything you can in this country. Yes, there's still systemic racism. There's still prejudice in the system, but certainly you have a better outlook to succeed in this country now than your ancestor ever had. So those people, they preach that form of Black empowerment, and then there are others who blame the system. Both ways. They're good things you can see in both perspectives. But I think people like Diners and other people who have found success, in spite of the systematic challenges that they had in this country, it should inspire Black people in this country, African immigrants, Black Americans, that you can succeed in this country. So I don't think what CD is saying is wrong. He's saying, yes, all the terrible things happen to you, but in spite of that, you should be finding ways to succeed. And I don't think
that's the MO of the average quote unquote African American, bro. Where y'all getting this from? That they blaming the system and it's some hindrance to them in their day-to-day life. No, they know what's happened. They're at a disadvantage, but they still rise above. So what y'all are doing, bro, just mischaracterizing.
So that's what CD was saying. So you agree with CD then, right?
But no, that's not what he was saying. You putting what he's saying out of context, bro. He said a lot of nonsense before that contextually, bro. So let's be honest.
I don't even know what you mean by nonsense. But Abis, let me speak to you directly. Abis, right? I will always hear Stephen Smith.
No, actually, we got a new caller on. Go ahead, GBS. Go ahead, GBS.
I'll come after him, please. Thank you.
GBS.
Yeah. So I mean, look, CD is someone that I know. You know, I don't think CD is against FBA or African American.
No, we have spoken in the past. Saying that his perspective
he's got his own perspective. I disagree with his perspective 100%.
It's a dangerous perspective because
I disagree with that. But he's not against African Americans in any form, anyway, or he's trying to demonize them or look down on them. He's not this sort of person. I can vouch for him on that.
Based upon his sentiments today, he's objectively arrogant, brother. There's no way you could even parse that out. The man couldn't name A. Philip Randolph and had the nerve to tell a brother that he knows more about his own history than him.
I forgot. If someone is Stephen Smith,
hold on, CD. The new brother is speaking. Let him speak.
Let me pass it. Go ahead, GBS. Go ahead, GBS.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all brothers feeling today?
We're good, bro.
Okay. And I was in the chat and I was just listening to y'all for a little bit, in and out, listening to y'all talk about, the different perspectives and stuff like that. And I just came up here to introduce myself and let y'all know that I'm very aware of what's going on.
Okay. Anything you want to add?
Are you the fans, bro? You scaring us, man. What do you mean by that?
What you mean by what?
You said who you want us to know that you know what's going on. What, are we doing something wrong?
Nah. Nah, y'all ain't doing nothing wrong. Y'all doing some good things over here. Y'all expressing yourselves. You know, y'all giving each other different perspectives and stuff like that. So, you know, I see what's going on.
All right, hey, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the support.
Can you add anything to the? Yeah.
Dinus,
Do you want to add anything to the conversation or not? No, hang on. Do you want to add anything to the conversation?
Do I want to add anything? No, I'm gonna continue to listen a bit, and I'll jump in when I hear something that strikes. You know, but
Okay,
I was
we
listening.
appreciate you. Well, thank you, brother, for the support. We appreciate you, my brother. All right.
I know Dottie was going to do that. I was just about to warn him that Dottie's going to put you back.
I mean, if you ain't gonna add anything to the conversation, there's no need to,
That's crazy.
Go, Passport King. Go ahead, Passport King.
Yeah, and City, don't take this as a personal tab. I gotta point something out. And
go ahead. I'm open to
when
opinion.
people say things that we need to just move past, you gotta understand. Slavery wasn't Ghana a few months ago at the UN talking about slavery is a crime against humanity, which it is wherever it happens in the world. So slavery is a crime against humanity. You understand that in every nation on earth, including the United States, there's no statute of limitations on crimes against humanity. So telling us to move past slavery and the restitution owed to U.S. slavery descendants is not just disingenuous, it's also tone deaf, and it's just a fragrant disrespect of our history. And I'll say this real quick, and then I'm gonna land my plane. You know, Native American or tribal nations, the so-called Red Indians, they still regularly bring lawsuits against the U.S. federal government, and they often win them. And sometimes they win for things that happened over a century ago. I think the most recent one, or one of the most recent one, was about, I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago now. I hope I don't get the state wrong. I think it was Oklahoma. Well, the Supreme Court ruled that based on a treaty that was broken, that basically, I forgot which particular tribe it was, but the tribe basically should own half of Oklahoma. Now, they ain't just giving half the state, but it's saying in terms of compensation, they owe that money. And that's for a treaty that was broken over a century ago. When that treaty was made, our ancestors in the USA were still enslaved, the ones who wasn't freedmen. So if the United States is responsible for broken treaties where they happened 100 years ago or even earlier, how is the United States off the hook for slavery? And
okay. Let me answer that question. Let me answer you.
I would like to answer that too,
look, someone like Morgan Freeman, right? He's lived through slavery. Anytime you ask him, I don't want to answer no slave, no racism. I don't even want to talk to you about that, right?
You say he lived through slavery. I'm not sure that's right.
I hear Stephen Smith talking about it all the time. Justin Clarence, all the time he talk about it. Because you see me as an immigrant, I'm hearing from your prominent African Americans pushing back on slavery all the time. There's someone like Morgan Freeman. Go and listen to his interview. Go and listen to Stephen Smith, what he say all the time. So because
Stephen A is an immigrant, he's a Jamaican immigrant.
That's why I'm getting you so agitated.
But Shitty, let me answer you real quick. Let me answer you in 10 seconds, right?
You name it, entertainers, man. Like,
what's a better option to everybody on the platform, even Diners, right? Is they trying to get reparations from the injustice that was done to black people in this country, or maybe getting an education, starting your own business, finding success in your own way? What's a better path to success for black people?
Not an either or game.
Nah, we are reparations. That reparation stuff is nonsense, bro. Like, come on.
Right. So that's the point CD is making. Like, you can dwell the path,
that's not
or you can chart a path for yourself and become successful in this country.
Elvis, come on.
I don't know. Let's move on.
You can't
move this conversation
you
on,
can't tell
please.
people.
We're not playing that game.
I disagree with you, Elvis, on that.
Okay, I mean, hey, I got a perspective. I'm a liberal. I have a certain way of thinking, but I'm saying there are people like the Larry Elders, like the other prominent black people, like
Elvis.
People will say that Clarence Thomas, pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Those people have a different perspective. They've been very successful using that perspective.
Elvis, respectfully, Larry.
Nor is Obama. Obama was against reparations. That don't mean that we're gonna.
I can't hear you, man. So I think the brother's talking here. You said Larry Elders. He's a successful businessman, a politician. He's from California, like Donis.
Yeah.
They share a similar political ideology. So I think Donis likes him.
But I'm saying he doesn't speak for all FBAs. It's like a minority.
Because
but
Larry
he don't speak for none of them, to be honest.
Come on, it doesn't speak. It doesn't.
To me, it sounds like a conservative. I don't know him, but
he's a conservative.
Who is a businessman, and that's how they
There's
speak.
a lot of prominent black people
individualistic in their mindset. One second, my thing. To me, I don't know the guy, but he sounds like a conservative. I'm not in America, and who got that individual mindsets, half quote-unquote Nigerian mindset, but apparently
gosh.
I don't say businessman.
Africa, a lot of prominent African Americans think that way.
Donis on this show thinks like that. I don't know why you guys are dodging it. That's how Donis see it.
Yeah, because
I'm a liberal. I'm on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to these people politically, but that's how they see it.
They see it the same way that I
hear that. I hear that.
Hold on. Let Pastor King.
That's the reason. Yeah, 1 second. That's the reason. No, ignore it. Well, that's the reason why I understand. The only bit I disagree with my big brother is when he trying to. Anyway, let's move with the conversation. Let's move this on.
Every black people went through every struggle in this country. They went through every pain. But do you want to hold on to that forever? There are a lot of people
you're not in the place. You're not in the place to tell them that.
Deconstruct it, and you understand.
The point is, and I've listened to most of them
how it marginalizes the
when you ask them about racism. I've seen Morgan Freeman.
You're not in the place to tell them that.
So you guys are saying it's wrong when black people have the perspective of do for self, right? You guys think that shouldn't be?
No, nobody's. See, that's crazy, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
No, listen. People forget what they went through, man. They just that's wrong.
But you that's the question.
Y'all are acting like this stuff doesn't have ripple effects into the future, into the present.
So are you saying black people are traumatized by the history? That's why they're not succeeding?
It's not traumatized, quote unquote. You can try to use that language. No, it's a pathology that forms due to this.
What are you talking about?
So it cripples you mentally, and you can't reach your higher self. Is that what you're saying?
It's not just quote unquote African Americans though. It's all black people, bro. It's the pathology.
Hold on. Pastor King was saying something. Pastor King was saying nothing.
One mic.
Pastor King was saying something though. Oh, I got you. But let Pastor. He was saying something though.
Yeah, but I don't want to. No. Listen. Just let other people. Let 1 second to Pastor. Okay. Look, CD. I understand what you're trying to say, but you're not in the place to say that because you're not. You're not a descendant of a free slave. You understand?
If that be the case, if that be the case, then in the forum we don't have to give our opinion then because this is a free forum where everybody has
if you give your opinion, be knowledgeable, bro, about the context.
Right? Why I can't give my opinion on black struggle?
Be knowledgeable about the context. Don't be arrogant, bro. Like that, I'm never gonna come on here and diminish nothing that happened in no context of nobody that's black, bro. That's crazy.
Other than that,
you sat here. You told City.
Africa. Let me ask you this, right? If you say that black American help black people, even African here with the black struggle, right? Connecting it with someone like Kwame Nkrumah. Me as an African, you don't want me to give an opinion on black struggle because I'm an immigrant, black immigrant?
No, nobody's saying that. That's another straw man fallacy.
That's not what happened. Now
this is what you said.
That's not what he said.
That's not what you said. That's not what you sat here.
What do you mean? What you said?
They want you to be more sentimental and have some.
No, it ain't, bro. It's put the proper context. If you don't put history in its context, bro, you're doing it a disservice. That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna be accurate when you
kid, right? I went to high school, went to college. As a 10-year-old kid in this country, I understand the deep history. Hold on 1 second, brother. Let me just answer this, brother, real quick. I understand the deep history of the history of black people in this country, and I respect it. Those who have frequented this platform, you don't know. For years, Donis, Brandon, Kala, I went against them when they was talking crazy about African Americans. I don't hate African Americans, right? I'm saying what CD is saying is a perspective that African Americans in this country share. They're saying, well, slavery happened, yes, You even have some bozos who said black people were better off doing Jim Crow times, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But the point is that black people in this country, some of them share that ideology that, well, yes, slavery happened, but it didn't stop me from being successful. It didn't stop me from building generational wealth. It didn't stop me from, contributing to the upliftment of black people. So I think it goes both ways.
Nobody discounts that. It's the context that he put it in, bro, and you keep being willfully obtuse and not putting that in.
Remember when CD said, CD, remember 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, remember when he said after the last African-American president died or got killed, remember you said your dad cried? Remember in Liberia?
Well, when you put it, that's a Liberia situation. You comparing that with the situation in Liberia. Yeah, I give all pride to African American because why? They developed my country, right? They have history with where I came from. I have success story of African American. My parents live it, right? I can remember when I was a kid, my dad told me that Togo took property from the Lebanese, from the Middle Eastern, and give it to African gas stations or gas businesses, damo mining. That was Liberia was the only country that we have that. They never let Lebanese to own property because that came from the African American mentality, right? I understand all of that because of their black struggle, they went to that and Samuel Doe continued the same thing. Up to this time, Lebanese is not allowed to be citizen in Liberia.
But see, they're pushing for it. Our former president said they should become citizen.
No, but wait. So you see, CD is not against FBA or Black American. When he's saying it is in that way, he's just trying. I think it's just misunderstanding. Let's just move this conversation on.
Yeah, Bishop, what's on your mind, man? You look trouble over there, Bishop.
Hey, I just want to say this because I when I was in the car, somebody made a comment. They brought up Larry Elder and Clarence Thomas. And
I made that point.
Yeah. Somebody did.
And Stephen Smith.
Hold on. In regards to us advancing, and this is what I'm saying when an immigrant makes those comments like that. And the reason why I'm saying is this, right? A lot of those, like in y'all countries, y'all have y'all sellouts too that y'all call out, right? We call them Sambos, right. Y'all have y'all sellouts, right? Yeah. These are the people that they rolled the backs of Benjamin Hooks, Barbara Johns, Daisy Bates, right? Dr. Amos Wilson, all of these people that was actually saying the same thing we were saying against the system that was advancing. They was able to get in those positions because of those people. Those people open up the doors. Right. A lot of these people come here and they able to label white women. They able to do all these different things. It's because of these people. We force so hard that y'all can come here and even get some white cooch.
Oh, come on, man. What do you think about the white cooch?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Elvis, shut up. Let him finish, please. Yeah, go on.
Let me finish so y'all get an understanding for what I'm saying. So we can get clarity to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, even our Sambos that got in position, Thurgood Marshall was there before a Clarence Thomas. They two different people. These people were on the front line bleeding and fighting, right? They wasn't just fighting for us to have rights. They was fighting for y'all to even have access to be sellouts and have those white women, right? So those people that we big up, they did the dirt. They did all the dirty work so you can have a Larry Elder, because Larry Elder wasn't accepted by those people. So we got to put things in context when we're talking about our story. Because what I'm saying is we're not in Liberia having this conversation. We're not in Jamaica having this conversation. We in America, and you guys are having a conversation with us about our story. If I'm in Liberia and y'all talking, I'm listening. It's not my place. If I don't have the full knowledge. So when you invoke a Larry Elder or you invoke a Clarence Thomas, then you got to talk about Thurgood Marshall before him. How did he get there?
Right.
Bro, I agree with you. I'm a liberal Democrat, right? On this platform, Dynas is a conservative. Brandon is a conservative. Kala is a conservative. Their perspective is one that is similar in sentiments to Larry Elders and Clarence Thomas. They feel like black people are asking for reparation. That's BS. They shouldn't ask for that. Black people want something from the white man. They're never going to get it. They should do it for themselves. So I don't know why Dynas is quiet. Dynas, stop hiding and come on the platform.
I've never said that.
Dynas want to get your opinion.
I'm talking. I'm not a conservative. I'm a moderate. There we go. I'm a moderate. I just do what makes sense.
All right, but we want to get your opinion.
Hold on, pass the mic. Man, I'm talking. I don't believe that men could be women and women could be men. You know, I don't believe that men should share intimate space with women. You know, stuff that you liberals believe. I don't support.
What's your thought of reparations, Dynasty? What's your thought of reparations?
I would say this. I think it's owned in some capacity, but I'm not losing any sleep over it.
No.
Yeah, first.
That makes sense. That's good.
That's any reasonable black person.
But Elvis, unlike you, I believe that men are men and women are women.
Yeah, Dynasty. I told you I don't think that's very important, Dynasty. I don't live in Atlanta. I don't live in the epicenter of that stuff.
Elvis, is a trans woman a woman? Elvis, is a trans woman?
No, I told you before, only a female can become a woman, right? But I told you being a woman is subjective because certain cultures you gotta be 30.
Man, let's not
listen to what I said. Listen to what I said. Only a female can become a woman, but the age of womanhood is different from certain cultures.
Oh my God!
As a 45-year-old man, will you think that a 13-year-old girl who just hit puberty and is now deemed a woman in like a Mexican culture is a woman? Of course not.
Wait, hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Woman is a denotion of maturity when it comes to females. That's what I'm saying. It's subjective for different cultures.
Man, look, bro, if you with that gender fluidity, you need ties and petrol, bro.
Hold on, Pastor King, you there, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, do what
that's that. I just want to make a.
That's that. What they call it, man.
You want to Massaga?
That's exactly what it is, man.
Pastor King, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to make a quick point. This false dichotomy of either or is only placed on.
I think Super Africa haven't spoken. Let Super Africa speak.
Let me say something real quick, right?
Hold on, but he was speaking
go
though.
back to your conversation.
Super Africa ain't spoke yet though, brother.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
All right.
Yeah. Let Pastor King come after my thing. Go on, Super Africa.
Yeah. Let me say something real quick, right? This, I looked at America as an empire, right? Because America wants to be the dominant dog around the world, right? So they travel around the world and dictate to other countries, so other countries could submit to what they want. So they do the same thing to their populations, especially the black folks in America, right? Because the white folks in America, they they came together with the Irish and then all them other white people that came from Europe and then took over this land as well, right? And then they subjugated the Indians as well, and they did to the blacks as well, right? So as a return, they later on, have their own agenda to take over the world, to conquer the world, right? So if they stop the Black Wall Street from developing and then have a big say in the country, right? And then other aspect of where the black folks in America could be powerful, right? If they stop it, right? And then the same people go to another main countries, especially particular in Africa, right? And then conquer these Africans in a way that these Africans cannot prosper, right? And then you have about, let's just say about, 2% of Africans or 3% of Africans, right? And then come to America, right? So how is it really you helping the continent when 95% of the continent is being conquered by the same people? I'm talking about America-wise. That's what
is your point?
Because if the same people that control America destroy Wall Street and destroy anything that can help the black people to have a massive say independently, right? And then the same people could go to a continent of Africa and do the same thing, and then you get to the U.S. military and do the same thing in Africa. So how can you still come here and say, oh, if it wasn't for us, we help you, we help with this and that, with this? To me, right? Even if I'm successful in America, right? For my people to be successful, it has to be the 95% of the Africans that live there, not me. Because me, I'm just 1 or 2% of my people. So how is it helping the continent?
Thank you. I agree with you, brother.
But at the same time, the same people make sure that the black folks do not prosper. So you understand? So I don't know where
sell out in the culture. That's the problem. We always have sell out.
Because I'm gonna say this, right? There's some Africans that come over here they have already brainwashed. The white man is the king. The white man is the king. The white man will forever be their king. They have already brainwashed, and then that's how they go. That's their mentality. Because
You
for
make the
them, they look at
juristic, man.
something
That's
from
No
wrong. That's a
instigation. If you instigate, you're gonna have to pay a
He
fine.
said
individual
some. He didn't
success.
say all. He
As long
said
as they
some.
come
He
here,
said some.
they attach themselves to where they make money, this and that. They do not give a F what's going on in that continent. They will come in and say all these other things and act like they do, but they do not. Just like how you might have a black man or black woman that lives in America. As soon as they're very successful, they move to a elite white neighborhood and they start talking all that whiteness.
Yeah, but not
Nobody
everybody
going
will
on
be
in
the
the whole
same,
country
Tom.
at all.
He didn't say everyone. He said
It's the same
some.
people.
He said some.
It
He
is the
said
same
some.
people. The only difference is one is Africa and one is in America.
Yeah,
It's
so what's
the
wrong with
same
that?
people,
What's
man.
wrong with that?
So
Everybody cannot be the
and
same.
This guy, he
shut up.
wanted to be super African, CD. We should come here and profess that we love Africa so much when in reality we haven't lived up to what we should be as a people. And when we criticize ourselves, they think
Right.
it's hatred.
Nah, it's a difference
Super
between
African
criticism
said
and
it.
what y'all was
What I think
doing,
that
bro.
he's saying is we should
This
be
argument
So
don't
that's
make
two
no
different things.
sense.
Whatever.
And everybody
have
do
Hold on.
that. The
respect for each
Chinese
other's
do it, the
stories.
Japanese do it,
Two
Super
different
everybody.
things.
Hold on.
Twisting
Super
it to
Africa.
benefit you. Two different things. What I was just trying to say. Two different things.
Right. So,
My ideology, because 95% of my people lives in Africa. So I want to see.
I think your argument is all to do with the mindset. I agree with that. It's a mindset idea.
It's the math. It's the common sense math.
It's a mindset. The mindset. It all depends on the mindset. I understand the argument.
He's only regurgitating your talking point, Bishop. That's why you want him to hear.
No. He's African, and I want to hear from an African. I'm the same way I listen to everybody else. Just because you don't like what he's saying, just because you don't like, calm down. Let him speak.
He's wrong, man. He's wrong.
Bishop. Always remember, right? In the continent of Africa, there's about 1.2 or 1.3 or 4 billion people. We are not the same. Different beliefs, different. You understand me, right? So some people in Africa, up to this day, even if they have never left the continent of Africa, they believe that the white man is superior. Just like how some of us that lives in America, we believe that the white man is superior as well. So these are people that
you saying that it's not true. They believe that the life that the white people have created for themselves is better than the life they're living in their villages.
Elvis, man. Elvis.
I'm saying, bro, we all came to America or the West. Why did we come here?
Elvis,
Did we come here because it was worse than where we're living? We went there because it was better.
Elvis, if someone got more money than you, does that mean they're more superior than you?
I mean, you're talking about personal wealth. We're talking about a society, right? If the education system is better, you want to go there and get educated. If the financial system is better, you want to go there and partake in it. Hold on, bro. Let me flesh out my thought, please.
Superior than you.
It's not you using the word superior. We're saying people are doing comparative analysis back home. They look at their life and they look at the upward mobility in these Western countries and they want to come. It's not just Africans. It's Asians that goes to Europe and come to the United States. It's other Europeans, that come to the United States. People look at their current situation, their socioeconomic situation, and say, well, I probably have a better chance.
Arguing with that. Nobody's arguing
and that's the point. So what are we saying?
Nobody's arguing.
We know Elvis.
So just saying that things are better here, how is that saying the white man is superior?
Elvis, you're trying to shift the goalpost.
No, that's my point I've been making. That we benefit from their system that they built.
Don't reflect that. Don't reflect that fully, brother. So you're being disingenuous right now.
Okay. When I tell you what my thoughts are, I'm being disingenuous. I've said it.
You can say what the essence of it was, but that's not everything that you were saying. You had you had undertones of it being, and I'm not gonna say undertones. You damn near blatantly said that they're superior in terms of them building.
No, I never said it. Never came out of my mouth. You said you inferred it, but it never came out of my mouth. I'm saying their systems are better than what we have back home in our country. And it is.
No, and you said it's currently stated. You said that basically superior is currently stated.
Oh my God, you're trying to infer. Don't do that, man.
Nah, that's what you basically said, bro.
Bishop, being disingenuous, because I asked you when you was talking. I asked you. I said specifically. How do you see? I asked you specifically. You answered it direct.
What did you say again? What was the question?
When I asked you about proximity to whiteness, You said, I said, do you believe? Wait a minute. I asked you because I didn't want to put words in your mouth or speak for you. I said, do you think that there's more superior? You said in ways they are. That's what you said. Out of your
No. Your question was
No, you said that verbatim.
Bishop, no, your question was about black people. Yeah, it wasn't that. I never said white people are superior. I'm saying as Africans, we haven't figured out a way to keep our people on the continent by giving them a better life, by maybe even emulating some of the things that the white man, society has built in the Western Western world. That's why many Africans leave our homelands and we come here. It's a reality. Why are we trying to front?
Can we pass the mic to Passport King real quick? Hold on, just give him like 30 seconds. Hold on, no, Super Africa, hold on. Super Africa, hold on.
Super Africa, let Passport King have his thing.
It's gonna be 30 seconds. Hold on, Super Africa. Hold on, Super Africa. Just give him a minute. Just give Passport King because he's supposed to speak for a minute. Passport King, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
My bad. You know, some people,
Super
right?
Africa, Super Africa, you just cut him off. Hold on, Super Africa, hold on. Super Africa, hold on.
Give somebody else live.
Wait. You want to ask him one question?
Super Africa, hold on. Passport King wants to speak.
Give him a minute
of
talking.
Give him a minute. Give him Super Africa.
There's no consistency.
I don't think he can hear you. But I don't think he can hear you.
Go ahead, Passport King.
Thank you, Masaka. Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to double back real quick to the whole reparations thing. And I think there's a very disingenuous argument that's a false dichotomy that black U.S. slavery descendants, freedmen, FBA, ADOS, DOS, that we can't get reparations, so we should just focus on just building ourselves up. No one's saying that we should not build ourselves up. We've been doing that since post-slavery for over a century in this country and been very successful at it. In the United States, the two richest black people, and it's not Puffy, it's not, well, he go by P. Diddy now. It's not P. Diddy, it's not Jay-Z. The two richest black people in the United States are both FBA. Robert F. Smith is one, and then there's another gentleman, oh my God, his name is on the tip of my tongue, who's even richer than Robert F. Smith. And they're both FBA men.
That's Stewart. That's David Stewart.
No, it's not Byron. Byron
is David Stewart.
David Stewart.
There you go. Thank you. And they're both FBA
he from Kansas
men.
City.
But guess what? Even when you look at the FBAs who are billionaires, that still does not erase the crimes of slavery being a crime against humanity. So we can't say, okay, well, because they're billionaires, Oprah's a billionaire, Jay-Z's a billionaire, and yes, there are enough black Americans who are millionaires mainly through owning homes that black people don't need reparation. That's not how it works. A crime against humanity needs to be addressed. And even if it doesn't happen in our lifetime, it may not happen in our children, it may not happen in our grandchildren. That's okay, as long as it happens. That's what matters. And that's why I want to make the point about that, this false dichotomy. And mind you, it's not that we can't get reparations. That's not the issue. It's the government, and we know, I'm going to state the obvious, they don't want to pay it. It's not that we can't get it. And the part of the reason why they don't want to pay is because the real cost, just in cash alone, is way more than what most people talk about. I hear people talk about 20 million. Now, that's a serious undervalue. The full amount of reparations collectively is about 400 trillion.
Oh my God,
brother, you can't even put no price on it, bro. Like that's why it's really nonsensical.
Hold on, I'm just talking the cash reparations alone. For
how do you quantify it?
You can't quantify that, brother.
Why did you get us into this? Why did you get us into this?
In the 1990s.
He said to let the conversation move on.
Men should like to listen to him and laugh in the background. That's why.
I wasn't. He was trying to speak for a minute. Give him a minute.
So when you break it down, that's about between $4 to $5 million each for every U.S. slavery descendant. If you want to take on an individual basis. So again, it's not that the country can't pay it.
Go and build Liberia. Go back and work with the locals, native, build Liberia, and get some.
Salon Baba, take him to Freetown, Salon Baba, and give him some land there.
I'll land my plane there.
Yeah.
Brother,
I'll give you a heart attack, Elvis.
You need to wake up from that pipe dream, brother. You don't. If you think these Europeans will give any
Bishop, your mic is real low, man. We can't hear you too good. You talking about you low.
But what I'm saying is, see how y'all think it's funny. This is what I'm saying, right? Because this is the thing, right? If you go back to the 60s when Pan-Africanism was strong, right? You guys have your story. Elvis said he looked here, and they made a decision. Man, I got to get up out of here, man. I'm going to America, man. I can make the best of myself. But understand, where you come from, you have a story. But when you get here, there's other people that look like you that's already here, right? Mm-hmm. It's sometimes, man, like some of the opinions that y'all have on our story, but we don't have an opinion on your story. It gets disrespectful because y'all don't understand the story from a lived experience. And I just think that what happens is I believe that we all can coexist together, but we got to get rid of the tribalism aspect that Black Americans don't carry. And the reason why I'm saying that, I would never. I live in Philadelphia. I got a lot of African friends, and I found out I got a homie from Mauritania. I got a homie that's from Zimbabwe, right, and another homie from Ivory Coast. I found out that the way they view white people is totally different. My homie from Mauritania and Zimbabwe hate white people. My homie from Ivory Coast love them. My homie from Ivory Coast love them. Right, so out of respect to them, I'm learning about the tribalism and the way that they view certain things, and I don't speak on certain things because it's not my lived experience. I think that we came into each other's spaces and we stop talking about us because you living here amongst us and you may be successful, but you don't know our story. We never got to leave the government that oppressed us and go somewhere and start over. Y'all did. So if you take our 10% and send them to your country, we'll outdo y'all. It's just like that.
I agree.
That's a fair point.
I'm done here. So let's respect each other's stories and spaces. If you notice, I'm not speaking on where y'all come from in the context as if I know. To me, that's disrespectful.
It is.
So why would I do that?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But I've never said anything disrespectful about African Americans even today.
I like his point of view.
Right?
Yeah,
the only thing I was saying was CD was making a point that is not unique to him. It's a sentiment that's shared by native, quote unquote, FBA people. And that's a different that me as a liberal, it rubs me the wrong way. When Brandon's, still that perspective, that comes on the show, sometimes Pan-Africanism strikes back. Kala, when he says things like that he don't give a damn about Black people, not, being gerrymandered out of, having voting power. People say things like that, right? That Black people should pull themselves up out of bushcraft. They don't need to worry about slavery to be successful. They have role models that have made it in this country without worrying about slavery and asking for reparation. They make those statements, right?
Now, look, Elvis, I'm glad you said that. That's important. Now we're getting somewhere. What you're saying is important. I respect what you're saying. Now watch this. I'm gonna educate you on something where you can take this with you. The same way, right, how these guys exist here in this country, and we call ourselves out. Back in your country, you have Black people that oppress other Black people, right? You have Black people that work with the government that makes it impossible for other Black people to advance where y'all have to leave. They side with white supremacy, right? Right or wrong?
I mean, in all fairness, I left my country. Hold on, let me just say, I left my country when I was 10 years old, so I wasn't as aware.
No, listen to what I'm saying. We're not going to be disingenuous. You got family, and you at the table when your family's talking. Y'all have sellouts and people that oppress the people there, right?
Right.
Yes, thank you, my brother.
Y'all let other people answer. I'm just saying, I wasn't,
but the brother said it. So
we have sellouts
this is
everywhere,
what I'm saying.
man.
This is the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making, what I'm trying to tell you is, here in our country, these sellouts and coons, because I'm a Black conservative, but I practice real conservatism, not this internet bullshit that they cater to whatever white people say. That's not conservatism. My grandfather was, because nobody was more conservative than Black people.
Is Trump conservative
in this country? Huh?
Is Trump conservative?
Bishop, have you been to Africa? No, Bishop, have you been to Africa before, Bishop?
So I'm saying all that to say this. What I'm saying is this: the people in this country that actually fought and got murdered, churches was blown up. They fought for these people to be coons and sellouts because they never had close proximity to white people like that. They couldn't marry a white woman. They couldn't be sitting up there with white folks because we fought to get executive orders passed by my grandparents getting their backs kicked in and open the door for them to be sellouts. So they stand on the platform of a Fannie Lou Hamer. They stand on the platform of a Mary Bethune-McLeod. They stand on them platforms, but what they're doing is they cosplaying and they just grifting to make money. It's fake. So when you see a Thomas Sowell, you gotta understand who Dr. Nellie Fuller was. You gotta understand who these people were. But if you don't know these people, you don't understand you being duped. These people stand on the very people that you say that was seedy, or you guys would say when you complaining. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't even know who those people were. They opened up the door for them to even be coons. That's what I'm trying to tell you. White folks ain't want them around. So we got to put things in its proper context. The same thing in your country where you have people that look like you sell your people out, right? And they take bribes and money, right, from the government, right? And y'all run from there saying it's the government that's oppressing us. Well, it was our government that was oppressing us. They just treat you different because you come in as a foreigner.
Can I ask you a question, brother, quickly? As a conservative, would you lobby the Republicans, right, the conservative Republicans, for reparation for your people?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Not under this administration. As a conservative, I believe in less government and black people doing for themselves, as Dr. Amos Wilson taught us.
There you go.
We were, but listen to what I'm saying. But this conservatism that a lot of these people practice is not conservatism. They are directly under the foot of these white people, and if they say anything that white people disagree with, they get cast out.
Right.
So what I'm saying, that's not conservatism. Our people was conservative. Big Mama was conservative. She was able to do a whole lot with no education. We was able to feed families and build communities with less. We was the real conservative. They switched it around and got you believing. So what I'm saying to you is, when you see these people out here talking that conservative stuff, what I'm saying is they're standing on the back of the very people that you guys may criticize and say you complain too much. What I'm saying is there is no Clarence Thomas. There is no Clarence Thomas without Thurgood Marshall first.
I think most black people, on average, are very quiet.
Hey guys, let me do this. We got a new caller, then we got to close out. No holy cow. Go ahead and mute yourself.
Yeah, but Africa.
I said no holy cow.
The type of conservative that people are throwing around.
You gotta mute him. You gotta mute him, Darkness.
Like the traditional conservative. It's not the same at all.
Just
like how
Bang, it's not you.
God, be quiet. It's not your turn. No holy cow turn.
I don't think you all liberals and stuff like that.
You gotta mute
Bang. Mute him.
I thought no
I
holy
think he
cow
can
was
hear
called
us.
on.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, no holy cow. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, let's get a few things straight. I'm just gonna comment on the topic here. It says to Black Americans and South Africans, something whiteness. First and foremost, Black Americans are not the ones going to Europe where white people are not the ones that are migrating to Australia where white people are. South Africans, Black South Africans are not migrating to Europe where white people are. South Africans are not migrating to Australia where white people are. So this question about closeness to whiteness should be directed at the people that are going to where the white people are. Secondly,
the white people came to you, bro.
Hold on. No, holy cow. So what you're saying is, holy cow. This is the host talking. Hold on. So basically, what your comment is, you have a number of, we'll just say, Black immigrants who are leaving their Black countries to go migrate to white countries.
Exactly. Before we can say that Black Americans and South Africans are trying to be close to whiteness, we are not the ones moving to where white people are. The other thing, my second point is Black Americans.
It's not making any sense, is it?
My second point is, I'm sorry, I thought I was dealing with adults here. The way adults talk is that you let somebody speak their point and then you can argue. Otherwise, if this platform is for children and immature people,
if you come in like you're some comedian.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt him. Don't interrupt him. Go ahead, holy cow.
You see that when you interrupted, I kept my mouth shut so you can finish your point. Allow me to finish my point as well. Then you can rebut. Secondly, Black Americans are not the ones migrating to African countries. Black South Africans are not the ones migrating to other African countries. Let me list a couple of countries for you guys to understand something. Lesotho is enclosed by South Africa. South Africans don't have a problem with Lesotho. Swaziland is at the border of South Africa. South Africans do not have a problem with Swazi people. Botswana is, in fact, Botswana is 20 kilometers from where I'm staying right now. We don't have a problem with people from Botswana. Namibia, right next to us in Northern Cape, we don't have a problem with people from Namibia. Why is that? Because when those guys come here, they respect the laws of this country, and then they go back home. Just like when we go to Namibia, to Botswana, we are there for what we are there for, and then we come back home. Now, in South Africa has done so much for the African continent. No African country contributes to the socio-economic welfare of this continent than South Africa. On top of doing that, people come to this country, okay, fine, you can migrate legally. We don't have a problem with that. We have a problem with the illegal. We have a problem with the illegal immigrants that come here and burden our systems. On top of the challenges that we already have, we have a problem of maladministration. We have a problem of corrupt politicians. We have a problem of corrupt businesses. On top of that, now people must come in our country and fight for us for the same resources that half of our people are fighting for. It can't be. There's no way in the world where you're going to allow everybody, because they stay in the same street as you, to come into your house and take the food off of your children. And then when you say these people, guys, some of you are not coming here the right way, go back home and fix your problems at home. We will offer you the support we want you need from us. And then you call South Africans xenophobe.
Did Africans say that when South Africans were fleeing from their countries to other African countries for refuge? The other African people say that go back home?
Let me correct that. Let me correct that narrative. Let me correct that narrative. Only a few South Africans went to Zimbabwe, went to Mozambique, went to Botswana to train their military. Not millions of us were all out there. We've done more than enough for the rest of Africa. You helped a few of our struggle icons, not all of us. South Africans liberated themselves. Africa did not come to liberate South Africa. African armies did not come to South Africa to fight the white system. Were there any African armies that came? Because by the time that we were busy fighting,
the Cubans was helping with Africans.
Listen, the best thing to do with this guy. The best thing to do this guy, let him speak and don't even respond. Let him go.
Go ahead. I got a question for Holy Cow. Go ahead.
No. Don't ask him any questions. Just let him speak and let him go. After he speaks, you can log off. Bye.
Yeah, I want to ask him a question.
No.
Guys, let him finish. Go ahead, Holy Cow.
The Cubans, the Russians, and a few of the African countries hosted our MK veterans, the military wing of the ANC. They hosted a few of them. Most of them were in Mozambique and Zimbabwe. This thing that the whole of Africa supported us, show me proof of that where it is documented in history. Go ahead.
Show him the text.
Okay, Elvis, be quiet.
Go ahead.
Holy Cow.
Go ahead.
Holy Cow, this is the host talking. Holy Cow, this is the host talking. The Mandela tax from out of Nigeria.
What did Mandela do in Nigeria? Mandela went to Nigeria only.
No. I said the man. Man, sake, I'm not. It's not. Guys, be quiet. Holy Cow, are you familiar with the Mandela tax? Okay, so Nigeria, they had a tax where they taxed like their civil workers and children in school. They raised a lot of money and sent to the ANC.
Where is proof of that? Because
and then also too, I want to say a number.
That was discussed during the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa in 1994. There was no proof of that. That was discussed in TRC after 1994. Where's the proof? Where is it documented?
So real quick, Holy Cow. So you're saying, Holy Cow, man, I just want Holy Cow, I would, Holy Cow, it's the host talk. It's the host talking. So Holy Cow, so what you're saying, I'm asking a question. It's the host talking. So
he's insulting me and he's doing the same thing.
Stop talking. Be quiet between me and Holy Cow. So what you're saying is that the Mattel attacks didn't happen.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
They have receipts.
All right, go ahead.
Does anybody have receipts of this? All right. So we are here where we are right now. Right. South Africa was liberated in 1994. All of this time we have been taking in illegal immigrants that have been a burden on our socio-economic systems. Now let's suppose, let me take your argument. Let's say, okay, the rest of Africa helped us. Okay, how long are we supposed to help the rest of Africa before we help ourselves? How long? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, including the economic help that we are giving out to Africa already. How long? How long?
So how are you helping those people who got shops in South Africa? Are you helping them to start their shops and their businesses?
Okay, okay, this is, we're going to talk about what recently happened. Where did that happen in South Africa?
No, you say you're helping the Africans. So when an African go there and start a shop, a provision store, are you helping them start that store?
I am asking you, you're saying that we looted their store. I'm asking
I didn't say that, bro. What are you talking about? You said you can't help Africans, right? I'm saying when an African goes to South Africa and start a provision store where you can buy rice and toilet paper and all the things, how are you helping that person?
Who is supporting that person's business?
So it's commerce, right? So you're saying that they're not providing a service to you when you need to wipe your ass and you go into their store and buy toilet paper? That's not a service to you?
Which Africans are opening spaza shops in Africa? Because spaza shops in South Africa are being owned by the Pakistanis and the Bangladeshis. Which Africans are doing that?
So Somalis don't own them?
So what about the Somalis and Ethiopians?
So Somalis and Ethiopians are Africans now, because last I checked, even
in America, this guy, what are you kidding me? Are they not Africans?
He do get
they're
a
not
point,
Africans.
Bro.
That's his rebuttal. They're not Africans, so they don't count.
They do be trying to other themselves.
Okay, he said something about South Africa not going after
Namibians. Did I say they're not Africans?
Hold on, you said something about South Africa not going after Namibians because Namibians are okay.
Yeah.
But let me read this. Former Namibian bus driver Semfred Shinlongo, who lost his eyesight after violent attack in South Africa, says the Namibian government acted too late to repatriate citizens living there without proper documentation amid rising safety concerns. This is a Windhoek Observer, appears to be a Namibian paper. He lost his eyesight from attack from South Africans. So
the cheated my girl, who was the Miss South Africa. Her mother, I think, was Mozambique. Her father is an Igbo from Nigeria. They went against her.
Listen, we all know this guy we all know this guy is a liar, because everything that he just said, is contrary to what we see and read online and on the media and the newspaper. You just come here to gaslight us like the rest of the South Africans. You're very dishonest. You're very dishonest. Low self-esteem, low-level black people. You're weak. Just be honest.
Then why are you coming?
Listen. If South Africa was my toilet, I would never. If South Africa was my toilet, I would never use it. Mastic, leave it. My people don't go to South Africa. I'm not Nigeria. My people never go there. If South Africa was my toilet, I would never go there.
All of you are here. All of you are here.
No, we don't.
It's with West Africans, bro. They hate the West African men. And we know why.
I got a question for you.
Elvis, I got a question. You said something about I want to answer Elvis first. He talked about Chidima. I want to answer Elvis about Chidima. Chidima's mother came into the country illegally. Chidima's father came into the country illegally. They stole a person's identity. For 20 years, there was a South African out there who could not get their identity because their identity was stolen. So get their facts straight, my man. They were here illegally. Okay?
You don't
Stop speaking to people like that because you're.
No, it's fine. So what does that make cheating about then?
When he speaks to us, listen,
guys,
we're not
guys,
Nigerian.
let him finish. I didn't know that part of the story, but go ahead, Holy Cow. Go ahead.
Chidima is either Nigerian or Mozambican. In the
She's
African
an Igbo girl.
In the African culture, I think world over, the child normally takes after the father's surname, isn't it? If the father is Nigerian, therefore Chidima is Nigerian. Furthermore, Nigeria rolled out the red carpet for Chidima. They made her Miss Nigeria. What did Chidima do to thank Nigerians? She came into South Africa again illegally. And then when Home Affairs contacted her and said, listen, you are in the country illegally, you need to fix your status, she blue-ticked them until she got arrested again, illegally.
Yeah, that is
Africans come to South Africa the legal way. Am I lying?
Just lying.
Okay.
Hold on. So
let me research that real quick to be sure.
Let me ask Holy Cow a question. Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
So Holy Cow, I got a question for you, right?
Yeah.
So according to South Africa, right, especially the government, you guys own 0 mines in South Africa. The only thing that you guys have, because everything else is privatized, and you have the law that says that, whenever they have a business, they have to give black ownership to at least 25 to 30% to the black South Africans, right? So, pretty much you have. Hold on.
What you're talking about is BEE. No, I'm correct.
Hold on. Let me hear. Listen.
You see, he speak over you. He accused me of speaking over him. He's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
he's a weird guy.
Hold on, Africa. Hold on. So you have an elite class that have about 25-30% ownership of these private mines, right? So that being said, if these people, a minority owns the mine, but the majority of those white South Afrikaners own the majority of the mines, right? And it's clear as day. Why are you not going after them?
Okay, now let me answer you. First and foremost, there's a misconception about.
He's gonna give.
Guys, let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead.
I'm not stopping him. I don't know why you keep telling him. I don't do nothing.
Well, you interrupt and you laugh. Mute yourself and laugh. Go ahead, Holy Cow.
All right. So let me correct the misconception. Correct that some of the mines are not in the hands of South Africans, but some of the ownership in those very mines you are talking about is owned by a few black people, just like the majority of some of those mines is largely a few white people. Not all white people own them. Secondly, there are mines that are community-based. So a person will come with their investment, 50% of the mine is owned by them, 50% of the other mine is owned by the community. I am talking about your Pilanis Platinum Mine. I am talking about Tarisa. I'm talking about Sibanye Stillwater. I am talking about Samenco. In fact, one of our success stories, if you can Google them, a company called My Soul. It's a black-owned company. It is taking over in Storm. And then the other thing is black South Africans actually have businesses that are going on with the mine. It is part of the broad-based black economic empowerment. So let's say you, Elvis, you've got the money for the infrastructure and everything else. You own 50% of that, but the procurement, the other services of the mine, at least 60 to 70% of those businesses need to go to black South Africans. That is the thing that some people do not know about what's going on in South Africa. I work for one of those mines. I work for a company that is subcontracted to work in the mines. We take care of the employment of some of the people. So when I'm talking about this one now, I'm talking about my bread and butter.
So black South Africans are doing well, right?
Black South Africans are doing, black South Africans are doing well, but like any other country, we have our own challenges. We are
y'all need 100%, bro. That's y'all's land, bro.
We want to be. Hey, my man, we are not the ones in other people's countries, ne? We're in our own country.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying y'all need,
hold
on.
Hold on. Let me correct that.
Hold
on. Let's do not just speak real quick. Let him speak.
I got you.
Let me just start. I will be very brief.
Hold on, 2 seconds. Hold on, 2 seconds. Holy cow, you're wrong. There's about 83 to 133,000 Black South Africans in the U.S. You're wrong. Well, go ahead, Nigel.
And
out of how many millions?
A lot of South Africans are in the UK too, also.
Let me
Loads
just
of them.
You guys
Loads of
understand
them.
what an expatriate is?
Hold on.
Loads of them in here illegally.
Can you be quiet, please?
I used to work in the office with them.
Let you not just speak, please.
Hold on now. Africa, hold on. 1.6% of South Africans live overseas. Why 1% of Nigerians live overseas? You want to call them what you said they don't go overseas. I'm telling you they do. And secondly, Chidiman's father. Hold on. You lied to people here.
You gotta let him speak. No holy cow.
Let me finish. You lied to people here that Chidiman's father came into South Africa illegally. There is no evidence that he did that. Nobody accused him that he came into South Africa illegally.
That's true. I just searched it up. He was not illegal. Her mother was illegal, but not the father.
Just come here and you just start spewing lies.
So you got caught in a lie there. No holy cow.
All right.
I told you guys, but you guys not listening.
Then how come was the father deported if he was not here illegally? I just sent you a link, by the way, on Chidima.
He was not
somebody
deported.
Said I was lying about
he was
Chidima.
not deported.
He was what? He was what?
Who told you his father was deported? You just make stuff up to make yourself feel good.
He wasn't deported. He went back to Nigeria.
The only illegal immigrants is them Afrikaners, man. Get them about y'all land, bro. Real talk. I'm not all of this.
You just say stuff that is not true at all. Do you know South Africans have even more debt rate? Nigeria is facing terrorism. Hold on, be quiet. Nigeria is facing terrorism, but yet your country has more debt rate that from criminal activities than Nigeria does.
Oh yeah.
Even when Nigeria is facing terrorism and kidnapping, your country has far more violence resulting from criminal activities, resulting in loss of life.
They got 7.5 million people living with HIV in South Africa right now.
Come on, let's not do this though, man. We don't gotta do no slander campaign on each side.
No. He's talking stuff about other African people. We're telling you, South Africa is not perfect. They have their own issues, and it's dire.
They're not even the wealthiest. They're not even the wealthiest. They're not even the wealthiest Africans anyway. Black Africa. They are not. They're far from it. That's the problem. They come here in our country. You come here. I understand. Look, me. Let me just speak because you all guys spoke, right? I understand that every country have to deal with the immigration issue. You cannot let criminals come in your country and ravage and do killings and sell drugs and basically do all illegality and get away with it. I totally understand that. But it's the way you go about doing it is a problem. You cannot go into hospitals, root out the ill, go into schools, go into a man that set up a little business, making money, looting it, and you're claiming to be the one that's better than them. You're looting the Africans' businesses to go and buy drugs. It's right. You can come here and gaslight.
Which African
everybody, guys, have you seen this, guys? I mean, can you just be quiet? You asked me to. Oh,
exchanging these constructive, brother.
Double standard. You see double standard. He's interrupting me now. You see double standard.
I'm just returning the favor. You see, it's not like interrupted. Can you see that?
Because you see, this is how you know I'm speaking the truth. Because what you're doing is trying to stop me from speaking the truth.
Can you
and this is what they do.
Can you see it's not nice when I speak over you?
Listen, I've seen. Oh, look at that! Oh boy! Oh my little boy! You're very clever, ain't you? But anyway, the TV doesn't lie. The screen doesn't lie. It's there. It's there. People follow you guys. I've never been to South Africa. I've never been to Southern Africa. I never want to go. I said, if South Africa is my toilet, I will go and sit outside.
Come on, bro.
You had a toilet, though.
No, but honestly, bro, listen. If South Africa was
bro, Ngolo, bro, stop that, man. This dude's talking stuff.
Nah, no, but what point does it make to that's what he's doing?
We'll never have peace with these guys in the continent. Do you know what I'm saying?
These guys, this is what the show is about, right? They have the shade of the white man's proximity. So they think they're better than other Africans. If South Africa was purely black and black people was rushing to it, I would have more respect for them.
Ngolo, I'm begging you, stay away from this. The day the white man is ready to deal with you, bro, will come and join the white man. and deal with you. They will deal with
we're not going to help them.
No. Listen, they will deal with the white man. They will deal with the white man. Also, will deal with all of you together, bro. We're waiting for that day
were
to
you
come.
born? Were you born during apartheid? The brother that's talking from South Africa.
He's not. Well, listen, we're West African, bro. Look, we're West African. We're born. We're children of warriors. All our ethnicity, all our ethnic group that we came from warrior clan, bro. That's why white people never got foothold in our region.
Because I don't know if this brother remember when South Africans was crying on the continent when the white man was putting foot to ass, and they were begging everybody that would listen to them to free themselves, to become integrated with the white people, to not be a partners, living in a partners with the white people. So why are you acting as if you guys was always standing tall? You was in a vulnerable position just about 30-something years ago. Why are you acting so tough now, bro?
Trust me, bro.
No, I think the fact is that West Africa was hardly colonized.
You liberated yourself. Are you sure about that?
In West
Black
Africa,
Americans did more to help you. They put pressure on their government to try to boycott South Africa.
Americans didn't do shit. You basically killing yourselves, each other every day.
Hold on. You said
you said Black Americans didn't do shit for you, bro. Is that what you said?
Is that what you saying?
Okay.
Let him speak.
One mic.
Are you saying Black Americans didn't help South Africans?
Absolutely.
Of course they did.
Wow.
Okay, let me.
Bro, he's entitled to his opinion, bro. Just let him talk.
Holy cow said
I'm begging you, man. Begging you, bro. Leave this guy. Don't get
Keep diverting it, bro. Like y'all finna disagree.
I want to know what South Africa did for Africans. Hold on, I want to know what South Africa has done for Africans. You said South Africa helped Africa more than any other country. Tell us what South Africa has done for African countries, please. I would like to hear it.
The dues to the AU. That's it.
They're not even They're not even one of the wealthiest black people.
Anybody who got
he said they helped African countries more than any other country. Tell us what South Africa has done for Africa.
He's going to mention MTN.
Other than just keep attacking them and killing Africans.
No, holy cow. Go ahead. Enumerate some of the things South Africa has helped other African countries with.
Yeah, he's gone mute now. Somehow his mic is.
He's probably drinking a beer real quick. They can't force you out drinking.
He's pooping his pants after I just warned him. No, seriously. We listen. You see people. You see. No, listen. You see South Africa. You see South Africa. Yeah. Let me tell you one thing. You see the way you're scared of white people. That's how we are not scared of them. You see the way you treat our people that went over there. Some of them went there. Opened businesses. Some of them actually helping you guys. You actually went there and loot their shop to go and buy drugs, bro. You're gonna pay for that, bro.
Hey, I got a question for you real quick.
Buy drugs.
No, holy cow. Are West Africans? Hold on.
The white man is eating your lunch.
Africa. Well, let me ask him a question. Are West Africans and South Africans of the same race?
No, they are Bantu. Listen,
hold on. Let me ask him the question, please. Let me answer. Are West African and Southern Africans the same race of people?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We are.
They're Bantu people.
These are one of the Bantu which is from Mambila Plateau all the way to South Africa.
Yes, thank you. That's what I'm trying to say to him.
That's why these conversations.
No, because some South Africans don't think they're related to the West Africans. They think they're different.
I told you this before. I said this before. I said in West Africa, thank God, we managed to keep these people away from the West, but they tried to come to the West. I know some of your people where they actually managed to stop, where they were stopped, where our ancestors stopped them, and then he went down to the south. And he went after the Koya and the San people because you're weak. You couldn't deal with us.
What are we doing? Come on, bro.
And we'll come and take you down there. We'll come and hold you down there.
You know you're talking about the Bakongo too, and then all the other groups, bro. Come on, bro.
They're weak. We
don't have to go all the way. We don't have to go all the way on that, man. Let's be.
Let me ask him one more question.
Okay, new speaker in the house. New speaker.
I got you. Give me 1 second. Holy cow! Quick question for you, right? There's 65 million South Africans, right? Do you think?
No. That's the wrong number.
Okay. So this, but about half of you guys is on government assistance, right? So by you going after these black other Africans, right? Are you saying that are they a burden on the system if half of the population is on government assistance?
Okay.
That's an excellent
Now let
question.
me. Okay, I want to answer you. First and foremost, the population of South Africa is not 75 million.
I said
Get that.
65. I said 65.
You said 65. Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, yes, you are correct. Half of South Africans are dependent on some form of government, on some form of government assistance. Thirdly, the issue here is not that Africans are coming to South Africa. The issue here is that we are talking about the illegal immigrants that we cannot account for. So our system in South Africa as is already overburdened, especially in the Gauteng province, in places like Johannesburg. The system is already overburdened. And then people come to the country illegally to get those health services, meaning that South Africans cannot get those very same health services. Remember, guys,
Is
this
that a
thing.
true statement? Is a West African stopping you from going to the hospital and getting care? Do they tell you, well, we can't help you because an African is using your benefit?
That's exactly what happens, my
Oh
man.
my gosh! Stop the lie.
Okay, so let me ask. Let me make a statement. First, I want to just say that. Let me.
Wait. Somebody said I'm lying.
Right.
Have
No,
you
no,
come to
no.
South Africa and seen
Sir, sir,
Must I
sir.
send you a link?
Sir, you're gonna
Must I send
talk.
you a link?
I've heard you talk before. You have a lot to say, good stuff to say, informational stuff to say, bad stuff to say. To me, in my opinion. But I wanted to
I
first off
apologize.
start by saying, no, you good. That Larry Elder said that welfare has been more harmful to Black Americans than chattel slavery. Do you hear that? This is the stuff that Larry Elder said, and I'm so glad that Dinah said that he's not a conservative. He's a moderate. He's not on the Larry Elder's degree or Clarence Thomas degree. So that's just one of the egregious things that came out of Larry Elder's mouth. I didn't even know this guy, but I heard him speaking, and he's ridiculous. But anyway, back to the subject matter. My thing about South Africa and what's going on is that the Southern African countries are culpable, um, as well as all the other African countries, especially Nigeria, the country that is most I won't say responsible, but has a huge part to play in Africa's um, ability to sustain itself. Those countries that have some wherewithal. I mean, Ghana's doing a good job without having been affected, but I think Ghana has, Ghana and Nigeria had a thing going on. But what I'm saying is that the interdependence of African countries, and this is why what I like about Julius Malema is that he's a Pan-Africanist and he talks about all of Africa. But you can't just say that Africa's for all Africans and not hold accountable the countries that are are Zimbabwe, for example. That's one in which South Africa failed in terms of supporting and helping Zimbabwe. What would have happened? They would have had to sacrifice as well. But now look at what's happening. You've got, low going to high. They all rush over to South Africa because it's more stable, and they bring the country down. And then everybody's talking about don't mistreat Africans, when in fact it's a matter of not just leadership, but also it's a matter of what's happening globally. The sanctions put on Zimbabwe, that made a lot of the people leave and go to South Africa. And the other neighboring countries didn't chime in, didn't support them, didn't do anything. That should have been a time when South Africans start kicking white folks out of South Africa, when Zimbabwe started doing that. And then they would have put sanctions on South Africa. But guess what? You're really dependent on each other. And that's where all those other countries should have came in and said, we're on our own. We've got to come together. We're on our own. And that's not what's happening. And so what John Henry Clark talks about is there has to be a generation of folks who that we create a generation that is willing to sacrifice. This is the sacrificing generation for the good of African people down the line. and we're not willing to. We haven't created that generation. And he also, in this latest little thing, I saw him speaking back in the 90s, talking about he was scolding the people because the information that they left for the people to follow, to look at, read, and follow, they're not reading it. They're not following it. We missed our time, and if it when Nkrumah, when we had a chance to come together and make one Africa, we missed our time. And he said we were fighting over stupid things. The reason why Africa didn't unite under the Casablanca group or whichever one it was over stupid things, like inconsequential things, really. And so that's a lesson for us to learn. Anyway, I'll land right there.
The Morovia group and the Casablanca group, those are the two groups, Shah.
Right, but whichever one it was. But the point is that was our time, and now we now we're looking at South Africa, blaming them for mistreatment of other Africans. Yet and still, everything is interconnected, and nobody's mentioning that.
Well, we shouldn't blame them for mistreating other Africans, Shah. Is that what you're
That's
saying?
not what I mean. They should not be mistreating other Africans, but we should be looking at them with a more balanced judgment in terms of saying they are being overburdened, and why? Mainly Zimbabwe, probably, and Nigeria. Maybe those are the two biggest.
Do you know that Nigerians make up?
Yeah, I want to get some numbers. How many Nigerians are in South Africa?
I did
Zimbabwe.
earlier. Sir, you wasn't here. No, wait, guys. Sir, Sunaja, one mic. I did had it. No, hang on. I did had it balance. I did had a balanced approach towards the conversation in the beginning of the topic.
And I've
Okay,
not had any submission. Let me just
Sunaja, you don't have to be childish. Okay, go on. Speak.
Let me finish speaking. See, what you are speaking about is a totally unrelated issue. South Africa has been attacking African migrants since the 90s. Can you believe that? Repeatedly, they've been doing this. This is highly unusual. And they've been getting away with it because Africans were thinking, okay, it's all right. But they are killing people repeatedly. And so sooner or later, any bad behavior, you have to call it out on either side. Let's say a Nigerian goes to South Africa and sells drugs. You have to condemn that and find a way to solve that problem. Either work with the South African authorities to ensure that those Nigerians don't make it into South Africa. The same thing with if South Africans do something wrong, if they start attacking African citizens, they need to also be condemned. We can't keep excusing people's bad behavior. Bad behavior needs to be condemned. If you are raising
So you're
children,
saying they have a culture of xenophobia. They have a culture of that's their culture, because if they're doing it without it there being a justified reason, because back in the 90s the economy was doing a lot better than it is now.
Exactly.
So then that means that you're saying you're indicting them for having a culture of vitriol and xenophobia.
No, look.
I don't believe that.
African, they have a culture of doing that.
Sunaja.
So that should tell you something. How can you not say there's a pattern to it if they keep doing it repeated? There's no other country you see that happening on the continent.
Okay, look.
Brother, hold on, I got you 1 second.
No, 1 second.
Brother, I got you.
Oh God, everyone keep interrupting me.
No, I got you. But brother Shah, you do know, like, for example, Ivory Coast has about Africa, what, 4 million migrants or immigrants inside their country?
Yeah, from Burkina Faso, yeah, and Liberia and other places.
Ivory Coast is home to.
Ivory Coast don't treat them like that. And they're a poorer country. They're a poorer country than South Africa, and they don't treat their migrants like that.
Elvis, Ivory Coast is home to the entire West Africa, except they've got Nigerian group. People in Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Senegal, Mali, they're all in Ivory Coast. They're all there. There are like millions of them, and they never have one single problem, okay? And if you go to Senegal, you find, Malian people, you find Guineans, you find Nigerians.
That's because the South Africans don't think the West Africans are the same as them. They don't have that brotherly love for them.
In Senegal, you find all the other West African group in Senegal, in Dakar. You never had them chasing. Even Nigerians, okay? You go to Gambia, it's the same thing. You go to Sierra Leone, it's the same thing. We have all kind of people living in one another. Ghana is the exception. Okay, let's be honest. In West Africa, Ghana are the people that tend to be.
Ghana's a protectionist, but they won't kick you out of your country because you're from another country. They prefer to give them.
They tend to travel. Listen, look, wait. Ghana tend to have their people in Gambia. I don't know if you know that they have migrants in Ghana that Gambia still refused to recognize as they're everywhere. They're everywhere. But they don't like you going to their country, but they like to go there. Look, I agree to the South African. Tonight, let's be honest, there's some element of criminality with Nigerians that go to other countries. They push drugs, they pimp women, they bring scam, and do all kind of wrong things in other people's country, and they disrespect other nations, and they're making us West Africans, look really bad. Okay, I'm telling you, that's just reality. Okay, that need to be addressed as brothers in the West. That is some conversation we need to have, and we need to have a topic about that.
We lost
because
you. I can't hear you.
We can hear him.
Yeah, so we need to have a topic. Yeah, so we need to have a topic about this because I love Nigerian brothers dearly, but that needs to be addressed. Okay, so
but think about this, Africa.
No, Elvis, one second. What I cannot have is that blanket, xenophobic against Nigerian people in South Africa. I saw a South African, a Nigerian man in the street. The man is sitting there hustling. He got his family, bro. It's so fucking wrong. These people went there, mobbed the guy, they beat him up. They took look, a Nigerian family in South Africa.
Africans are violent, bro.
Out of their school,
they are some of the most violent people on the continent.
We can't have that, bro.
The point I wanted to make to you, Africa. Take the United States, for example, right? South Africa is becoming a big country on the continent, right? A country like the United States. A lot of people come here, whether it's Mexicans or African immigrants, Eastern, Europeans. They commit crimes. You know what the United States do? They prosecute those people. They investigate them.
Send them back.
So, foreigners committing crime is not unusual. So if the Africans are doing it, just know it's going to come with the territory. When people are migrating to your country, there are going to be some of them who are bad people. You prosecute them, you put them in jail. It's not a reason to demonize the entire region.
No, that's one thing I don't like.
See, when you check the numbers in all these things, there's a lot of misnomer and a kind of stigmatization of Nigeria in so many ways because people don't understand numbers. People struggle with numbers a lot. Like if you look at Nigeria now, in terms of being selfless as a nation, Nigeria is actually the most selfless nation in the world in terms of the ability to do stuff for other people when they don't gain anything from it. Not when people are talking about other countries that are doing it, just go and check the record with Nigerians. In terms of generosity, Nigerians are very, very generous. This is how, if you look at the way they helped South Africa, they are not very close to South Africa. They could have ignored South Africa, but they did so much that it appears as if they are the only ones that were doing most of the lifting, even if the next door neighbors were doing stuff. So Nigerians have been, look at Liberia, look at Sierra Leone. These are factual statements, but people act as if Nigerians are all criminals running everywhere. We are in the UK. Do you see the UK chasing us as if we are criminals? We are in America. Do you see America chasing us that we're all criminals? Yet when you go into these higher positions in many institutions, even Harvard University, it's Nigerians that are representing black people there. What are we talking about here? But yet we stigmatize these people as if we are just people from hell terrorizing the whole African continent. It's not true. And we are doing ourselves a disservice. Whatever reason why we are doing this, maybe there is a reason why they want African countries to stigmatize in Nigeria, because it's the most populous African country. And if Nigeria gets its act together, other African countries will get their act together. But Africans are doing the job for the foreigners for them. We have to be factual here. I'm not going to support any Nigerian that is trafficking drugs. If you traffic drugs, they catch you, they should deal with you with the fullest extent of the law. If anything, that country should be working with the Nigerian authorities to arrest those people. But instead, what did the South African minister say? He's talking to the Nigerians and say, you know what, go and show us your drug dens and all that. Can you imagine a minister of South Africa telling the Nigerian state to go and show them drug dens in South Africa? This is the state of cooperation between nations in Africa. That is pathetic behavior. And if this is why we have this type of problem where they will just stigmatize the whole nation, when in reality it's not true. If you want to face the truth, you work with Nigerian government to capture those people. Because even in Nigeria, drug dealers, they find it very difficult to operate in Nigeria. Why do you think that is? If with all Nigeria's problem, I mean, have you mentioned drug dealing in Nigeria as the biggest problem? No, because every time Nigerian authorities are arresting them constantly. But these countries don't work with Nigeria, and somehow they claim that it's Nigerian government that's somehow the Nigerian state backing the Nigerians from doing this thing. It's not true. Period. And I'm sick of people maligning Nigeria when in reality, Nigeria literally is not in Africa, the most selfless nation in the world.
What else do you want from them? Come on.
Wrong.
Can I ask you a question? Niger, can I ask you a question? Niger,
go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You're saying that it's not fair that Nigerians are being stigmatized. I agree with you on that one. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Or can we okay.
But
can we also but now can we also agree that some of the Nigerian brothers are not doing Nigeria justice? Because you can talk about not being kicked out of UK, you can talk about not kicked out of the USA, but many countries around the world have got a problem with Nigerians, and it's usually because they are dealing in drugs. Can we condemn Nigerians that are doing that in the name of Nigeria?
Yes,
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
100%. 100%. We all are hate them. Yes.
They're not making us. They're not making it.
We don't want them in Nigeria too. That's why the Nigerian authorities
You're
goes after
right.
them with the
Yeah, I agree with you. Even Mozambique, and Zambia, they was chasing Nigerians before South Africa. I saw the documentary. You know,
yeah,
but
they got banned. They got banned in Dubai and I think Thailand or something like that too.
Oh yeah, all of this. Do you know? Let me tell you one. There's one thing I need to tell you guys also, right? I was speaking to a guy from Libya. I asked him. I said, "Why are you treating, our African migrants? Most of these North African countries, they used to be really. If you speak to the early, travelers who left the continent through the Maghreb to Africa to Europe, they would tell you these people were very welcoming at once. Okay, they was really welcoming, but it's when the Nigerians pass through that region, what they leave, they shit behind the people that help them out. Is when they start switching on Africans. So we need to change. It's about time. Nigeria is the highest black population in the world. In West Africa, they are not representing us well globally at all. They look, even in Sierra Leone, they used to come there. They do certain things, and the government have to stop to it, because we do have some people in Sierra Leone who carry Nigerian last name, and they get their family members to come and they use our passports to give our passport a bad reputation. But luckily,
yeah, they do the
we're
same thing in
smart.
Kenya and Uganda too.
Yeah. And that needs to stop, because everywhere you go, I don't know why, but maybe in America they think Nigerians are like this. Wait,
You are
one
beginning to
second, one
parrot the
second.
same nonsense again. You are beginning to parrot the same nonsense again. In
You
reality,
see.
because they have numbers, that is why it's not because other nations are not doing it. Because if Sierra Leonean come to Nigeria and do something like that, they are not going to make a blip on the radar compared to the Nigerian population. When Nigerians do it, you hear about them.
This is the problem.
Hold on. I'm doing it. I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. Like in South Africa now, if they look at the South African prisoner population, the foreigners among the South African prisoner population is around 8%. Amongst them, Nigeria makes up a minuscule percentage of that population. And yet, when they talk about foreign prisoners in South Africa, they will make it sound as if it's only Nigerians that are there. Because compared to non-Southern African prisoners, Nigerians make up a bulk of the other African population, and they are relatively underrepresented when you look at the actual population of Nigeria in South African prison. But yet somehow we have a reputation like we are the majority of illegal migrants and the drug pushers in South Africa. That is not true, South Africans have their own drug pushers.
Globally, you are. You can't deny that.
What do you mean?
Even yesterday, someone was gonna.
We don't manufacture drugs. You don't need to know that. Nigeria doesn't manufacture drugs. What do you mean?
This is
We are
wait.
traffickers.
16%.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say, you traffic it. You move around with it, and you get the women involved in it, and they make it look bad. And the way it's done is really inhumane. And other people look at it, they think, God, how can these people even do that to another human for the sake of money? We don't want money. I know you're very driven people when it comes to money. You can't take that from
Other
Nigeria.
nationals don't do it? Are you trying
They
to say
do,
South
but
Africa
not in
don't
the
do
scale.
drugs?
You say no. It's Niger.
They are not going to do the scale because Nigeria is big. You don't understand. I've been telling you that.
Hold on. Africa, hold on.
I'm going to get figures. I'm going to get figures to show you what I'm talking about.
Hold on. Tunaja, let me tell you a story, right? In Burkina Faso, right? they have their crime down there, right? But there was a situation in which this guy from Nigeria went to Burkina Faso, right? He went and he babysat a child, right, for a minute. The mother went and walked out. You know what the Nigerian guy did to the child? He literally butchered the child for a money ritual or something like that, whatever. And when that happened, the Bikini Babes was like, "Yo, we never seen nothing like that before ever in our lives. Like where the hell did this freaking come from?"
Never.
You know,
The kind of things that they do,
See,
I'm gonna log out. If you're not having a honest conversation, bro, there's no point.
We are having a honest conversation because what you are doing is trying to malign a population. You see, the kind of thing they do.
No, I'm not saying. I said some elements.
We're not saying all
Nigerians have not done anything evil. You guys that were seen on the street eating human hearts. Are you saying that you people have not done horrible things?
That didn't happen in Sierra Leone. That happened in Liberia. That was in Liberia, not Sierra Leone. But it's not all Liberia.
But you know what? But you want to hear something funny? But Tunaja.
Yes, we did. We had a war. We had a civil war. It doesn't happen now.
Tunaja, but you want to be so funny? There's a documentary from BBC, right? And it's about cannibalism. You know where they went to?
Yes.
They went to Nigeria.
Yes.
About it. So
yes.
I'm just saying, man.
No, the point I'm making.
And let's be clear, we're not saying all, but there's something.
Look,
there's something.
I got
wrong.
a link here. Man's sake, I got a link here. I'm gonna put it about Mali.
Here. What you are describing here are criminal elements doing heinous things. That is true. But you have that in Mexico. You have that in war zones. If you look at Sierra Leone, when they were fighting wars, they had child soldiers. Child soldiers killed people and they killed children too. And who went and fought that?
But that was a war.
Same Nigeria. Hold on.
I said that earlier.
Hold on, let me finish talking now. You at the moment. The same Nigerians that went and helped solve that problem. So why would we acting as if Nigerians are just evil? We are doing some of the most evil things on the face of the earth. Other people do evil things too. Why is it that just because we have the number and we do evil things, it means that Nigerians are the most evil?
But it's a pattern. It's a pattern.
I don't say it's not a pattern. Okay. Are you going to say because we are the most represented in Harvard University that the other
there's a pattern of the behavior?
Hold on. If I say because Nigerians are representing Africans in this Harvard University that the other Africans are stupid, would you accept that? Would you accept that?
Look. If you're collecting data, if we're collecting data on crime, put the population aside, you will see exactly what we're talking about. But let's move on from that now. Let's move on.
No, do that, please. Collect data.
We'll collect the data. We'll collect the data. I'll bring that up when it comes to drug trafficking.
I actually like it. No, you are saying drugs. You see what you are doing now. That's what white people do. They will say African American criminals because they deal on crime. They commit crime. That is the only crime going on in society. Drugs. That is what Nigeria. That makes Nigeria the most criminal country. You see what you mean?
Tunaja, can I ask you a question? Tunaja, can I ask you a question?
The country.
Can you explain to me? Tunaja, can you explain to me? And I think was it the UAE or Dubai? I'm not too sure. Why did they ban the Nigerians from coming over there to the Middle East, specifically Nigerians?
Because they are partly racist. That's number one. Because Nigerians are in the UK too. Nobody banned Nigerians. So secondly, Nigerians are having a fight. They are not, to be fair, part of it is because they felt that Nigerians are having fights on the street. They are bringing their university fraternity wars into their country. And there is another one that occurred because the Nigerians are undercutting the local traders. Because when they
look at the comment section.
But Tunaja, but why is it that they specifically got targeted? No other African country got targeted but Nigerians.
Actually, they targeted other African countries too. These guys don't only target Nigeria; they target African countries too. What are you talking about?
Ones?
They also target African countries. I don't understand why you just keep saying it's only Nigeria that are targeted. Okay, let's say it's only Nigeria that are targeted. Let's just assume that was the case. So what does that mean? It means that we are uniquely evil. Does that mean that we are
no,
not the same?
you're not. Listen. Some of the nicest people I met. So listen, some of the nicest people I met are Nigerians. What some of the worst people I also come across and heard of are from Nigeria. But that doesn't mean it's only Nigeria commit crimes. I agree with you. I'm not
Right.
going to sit
I
there and
agree
say
with
that
you
all
on that too.
Nigerians are bad. All Nigerians are like that. No, definitely not. A lot of decent Nigerians, a lot of good Nigerians, and also a lot of Nigerians who are doing stuff globally. They're competing globally. And a lot of Nigerians who are in South Africa, working in their hospitals, saving South Africans' life. A lot of Nigerian nurses in South Africa, and a lot of Nigerians in South Africa they have legit businesses, employing South Africans, probably more than those Indians that they and Pakistani that they ignore it. But there is also an element of certain behaviors, certain things that they're doing. Not only one country, not two, not three, not four, not one country, not two countries, not three. Everywhere it's been the same since I was young to Niger. This is not new.
Not the same
Let's
thing.
not say
You are repeating the same
since I was
term.
a young
You said
child.
everywhere they
Listen,
go, they do the same
listen.
thing.
No,
That
but
is
no, they
not
got this
true.
since I was young. Listen to me, to Niger. Since I was a young child, we was warned not to trust Nigerian people. We was maybe this is wrong by the people in my
Maybe that is
region,
conditioning.
but we was
Maybe that's
yes,
conditioning.
maybe we were
And
conditioned
sure,
to be like that.
you
I
will
swear out
eventually
to
move
Niger.
back the country in that direction.
I swear on my life. I'm not joking to Niger. Since we was
I
young, we
know
was
that is true.
conditioned not yeah,
Evidence are
not to
ignorant.
trust
They
Nigerians
don't follow
at
past.
all. No, no,
Is it
no. It's
not
not about ignorant.
Guinea-Bissau?
Listen,
Is it not?
no, 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 no,
Hold on. Is it not
no.
Guinea-Bissau that is described as a narco state? How many times do you
Yeah,
hear people mention Guinea-Bissau as a narco state that
Guinea-Bissau was
actually brings drugs into West Africa? But no,
yes, that's
hardly do
true.
you
We
hear
had a
anybody mention that. So that hold
no.
on. Hold on. Let me finish my point. This is a whole state that is known as a narco state. But how many times do you hear people talking about them? The reason why they don't talk about them because their number
Loads of
is not
times,
high.
loads of times, loads of times,
No, they don't
loads of times.
actually. They don't talk about them. You don't hear people chasing them from every country. You don't hear South
Why
Africa talking
listen?
about them once.
I
And I've
know, I
not
know
had
the guy
you
that.
mention. Hold on, I've not had you mention Guinea-Bissau. Even if you use drug trafficking as your parameter for nations committing crime, I've not had you mention Guinea-Bissau once. Even if Guinea-Bissau is known as a narco state. You see what I mean? When I
Okay,
tell you that the
I have,
numbers
I
and
have, I have,
Nigerians have
I don't know,
population.
and I said that in the past.
Africa,
But anyway,
I think Holy Cow had a
one
question.
second.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, 1 second. Since I was young, as a child, we were told not to go near Nigerians, not to trust them. This is like years when I was young. Okay, and it's ingrained in our head. That's not just in Sierra Leone. That goes to Guinea.
Whoever
That
said
goes to
that they are
other.
idiots,
Yeah,
they are the biggest idiots of all time.
I
The
don't know why,
nation,
but
the
it's
nation
always
has
gonna be like that.
sacrificed so much
Always
for
been like that.
everyone else.
No, but
You
that's
see,
before the war. That's before the war.
this is why
That's
I
before
tell
the
my fellow
war.
Nigerians. I tell my
Because
fellow
and
Nigerians,
Ghanaians, honestly,
stop
and also Ghana,
helping
and also
people.
wait, and also
Stop
people from
helping
Ghana.
people
1 second,
because
because
Nigeria has
Ghana
sacrificed
people.
so much for other people. All they get is
No,
insults constantly. Enough is
don't speak
enough.
like we hate Nigeria. Nigeria, we don't
Because
hate
no,
Nigeria.
you
Don't
do.
speak like that. Don't speak like that.
You guys like
No,
to badmouth Nigeria
Oh
constantly.
God.
I'm getting fed up of it. Why
See?
should
I want
Nigeria
to
is
be
even bother
clear,
with people at all?
Tunaja, respectfully, I want to be clear. I don't hate Nigerians. I don't at all.
Asshole.
But like Africa's saying, there's a small segment of the population that just does horrendous stuff, and it's like everywhere they go, they just cause problems,
And it pains
It's
me to
not.
watch.
And
Nigeria,
then,
it pains me.
but also
We are
too,
in America. We
Tunaja,
are
but
not the
also
biggest
too,
problem in America.
Tunaja, listen,
Why do
I
you
didn't
say
finish yet.
everywhere we
But
go? That's what I
Tunaja,
don't
hold
like.
on,
That's the kind of statement I don't like. It's careless
Tunaja, hold on,
statements.
Tunaja, you didn't let me finish.
Nigeria,
And I said
chill,
also,
bro.
hold on. I said also too, in that same page too, you got other ones that's doing successfully well, who are doctors, who are nurses, engineers and stuff too, working technology. They doing well, but I just feel like that more people's focus on the negative than the positive.
And the positive, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Which is sad, and it pains me to watch. Honestly, I never get that off my image, my brain. When I saw this Nigerian guy in South Africa, the way he was treated and his family, his business was closed. The guy was crying. He's been living there all his life. His wife is South African, got all his documents, and then even the school where the child is going, this school was targeted. That I never cut that off my head because Nigerians are our West African brothers. We are heavily related to Nigerian people in the far west.
Right.
We always close to these people. Regardless, we have some issue within Fulani, Hausa, Muslim, Christian, blah blah blah. That's our internal family wrangling. But when it comes to outsiders targeting my people, trust me, bro, I will stand up for my people to the end because I know West African people, we have stood up against outsiders. We always will stand up against outsiders. That's what made us very unique geographical region in West Africa. We are the most sovereign black Africans. And there's a reason why that is. It's because of our ancestors.
Africa.
Yeah.
Holy Cow had a question.
So you
Holy Cow had a question.
will not agree with that.
Yeah.
But Holy Cow, you had a question for Tunaja, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did. Tunaja, remember I said you and I need to agree that it's not fair that Nigeria is getting the stigma. We agreed on that. Do you recall?
Yes.
Okay, but now we also need to be honest. Nigerians, you guys have a specific problem that in 90% of the countries where you migrate to, there's a certain population that is there that is causing all of this havoc, and it is creating the backlash that is against Nigerians. You as Nigerians, I'm South African. I'm dealing with my own South African issues. I don't know everything that is going on in Nigeria between the Igbos and the other tribe and the whatnot and the internal challenges that are there. I'm just going to say to you, since you amongst Africans, I think you guys travel the world the most. You as Nigerians, you need to fix whatever that problem is. Denying it and making it seem as if every time that when people are raising it, they are attacking Nigerians. We are not attacking Nigerians. My man, I was warned to stay away from Nigerians by a Nigerian street hawker. It's a guy that was selling potatoes on the streets. He warned me to stay away from other Nigerians when he saw me being too buddy-buddy with other Nigerians at university. That tells me that within Nigeria, there's a problem. These talented, brilliant people, doctors, by the way, it's only 1.4% of Nigerian doctors in South Africa out of 48,000. These talented people cannot be that Nigerians are only known for dealing in drugs. Nigeria needs to take care of that problem. If we're being honest.
Actually, Nigerians are known for dealing in drugs in Africa. If you look at the rest of the world, Nigerians, okay, you look at Europe and America, that is not necessarily the case. Maybe if you go to Indonesia and maybe Bangladesh, all those areas, you could hear about Nigerians. And you tend to find that where Nigerians operate are almost third world nations versus third world nations. That's where Nigerians tend to operate. So when you look at America, Nigerians don't come onto the radar when it comes to drugs. In Europe, they barely are on the radar.
Tonight, respectfully, brother, you are just shifting the goalpost right now. Are you Giants of Africa?
Am I defending Nigeria? I don't care about Giants of Africa nonsense. What I'm saying is that drug dealing is not supported by Nigerians, and we don't support all those people that are dealing drugs. And if we can deal with them, we will deal with them. In Nigeria, it's harder for them. They can't do all those things that they are doing. See, Nigerians are very ambitious people. They seek ways to make money. So these drug dealers, when they make these drugs, they bring it to West Africa and they give it to Nigerians to distribute. Nigerians control the distribution network. That is what they do. They don't grow the drugs themselves. They use Nigerians basically as mules. That is what is going on. So this is why I don't like we are blowing it out of proportion. We are blowing the
whether they control the drug network or not.
Let me tell you.
It's not just drugs. It's like scamming.
Let me deal with this. Is also a South African problem.
Whether
so let me explain something why this is also a South African problem. Do you know that during the apartheid regime, the South African regime actually had a program of putting drugs into the black neighborhoods? And these institutions that they were using to do it in the black neighborhoods, after the South African regime collapsed, they became privatized. And one of the ways they became privatized and being able to still do the same thing was allow Nigerians or give them the opportunity to start doing the job for them. This is something that is documented. There is evidence to show that this is what happened. So why is it that sometimes we don't track where this drug is actually coming from? Nigeria doesn't go cocaine or heroin.
It does not matter. It does not. But
Tunaj, I got a question. Tunaj, I got a question for you. So
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this whole thing is linked. I'm not saying that we should accept drug dealers. No.
Tunaj, I got a question.
No, it's not only just drug dealing. It's like scamming, pimping, a lot of other drugs, other crimes.
Tunaj, I got a question for you, right? If we had to do a census, right, as far as like scammers and stuff, you don't hear people say people from Sierra Leone scam. You don't hear people say South African scammers, Kenyan scammers, Cameroonian scammers, or Beninese scammers. The stigma is always Nigerian scammers. Even if you're from another country, even in America or whatever, when they refer to Africans doing scam, you know what they say? They say, "Oh, that's a Nigerian scam." You know?
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
they will say that because Nigerians outnumber all the other countries. If you mention Ghana, you mention Ghana how many times? You mention Ghana once, but you mention Nigeria 6
No, but
times because of
Tunaja is right on one aspect. That Tunaja is right, because when I was young, the scammers were the Ghanaians. They were the number one people for scamming. The drug dealers were Nigerians. Or the Ghanaians taught Nigerian how to scam. To make those fake documents or like pretend promise people they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, and they take their money, or they pretend to go on a business, partner, and then by the time you realize,
the truth is
the
that
all this
all
fake,
this including
yeah,
Sierra Leone,
yeah.
do it too. If Sierra Leoneans were not corrupt, hold on. If Sierra Leoneans were not corrupt and they were not committing crime, Sierra Leone would be a glistening capital today. All
Look,
these countries that we are talking about,
we
they
had a
all are
war. We
also
had a war.
corrupt. They are all also
Okay.
criminals in those
You
countries.
can try and mix us in that.
No, it's
Saying
a
it's
fact.
fine, but everybody knows it's different.
You did say you're going to get data. If you get data, let's share it, because there is a reason why those countries are not doing spectacularly well. It's not because they are upholding the law. They too break the law. It's just that Nigeria is the majority country in West Africa. If you put the entire West African population together, Nigeria is majority. That is
It
how
doesn't
big
matter. The
Nigeria is.
majority having a big population, if the population are not sophisticated enough, it doesn't make a difference.
Because
But all I'm trying to say is,
if you go into Nigeria now, you say Igbo man committed a crime, you will hardly hear the Yoruba one, or you hardly hear Hausa one. So it is going to be Igbo.
and also that no, but we listen. This internal tribal wrangling also is going to be a witness as a nation. You said that yourself in the past, because when people are outside, they see you going rambling online about tribalism. They're not gonna like it. Whether the other tribe is wrong, the other tribe is wrong, because you don't stick to for one another. The Igbo man will not stick for the Yoruba. The Yoruba man will stick to the outside. But you are different. You are no, hold on. You're one of the no, 1 second. I was speaking. I was speaking. You and Ola, you're quite unique in terms of being nationalistic as Nigerian. Okay, you're very nationalistic. I admire you for that. And Ola is the same thing. You speak shit about Nigeria or about his people, he will come to the truth and he will defend them, regardless of the ethnic group. I noticed that if someone speak rubbish about Fulani or Hausa or Igbo or Yoruba, you defend them. I always notice you for that. But majority of your people in that country,
why
they
do you always
spew tribalism.
Fulani is a major group in Africa, in Nigeria? Stop
But
going on. See,
no,
I made a different point, and now
okay. See, now I'm just no.
I was
Listen.
making
I
was
said
that
you.
the point I was making
Listen
was
before
that
you start.
if you go into
Listen before you
Nigeria
speak.
and you
I
mention
said
Igbo, you
any
will not hear
tribe.
Hausa,
Listen to me.
you will not
I
hear
said
others.
to you. I said it don't matter whether if they're 1% or less than 1%. I said if someone basically spew nonsense about any form of group or ethnic group in your country, you tend to defend them. Okay, you speak out for your country because you're patriotic.
Why not?
Okay, I'm not talking about exactly. I'm not saying because of my
If
tribe or the
somebody says
percentage
something
before you go
wrong,
and
if
rambling.
somebody
But
says something wrong about
yeah.
Sierra Leone, I will
But
call it out too. Because
majority
you
of
have to call out
Nigerians. Let me
people that are doing
finish.
the
Let
wrong
me
thing
finish.
and
God, this
telling
guy.
lies about other nations. You have been
Majority of
talking for how many minutes?
Nigerians.
When are you going to stop?
Are you all
You
right?
say, let me
Majority of
finish. Yes,
Nigerians.
I'm very, very
Majority
all
of
right.
Nigerians. Yeah, majority of Nigerians, they spew nonsense on the internet. That's why they lost respect globally. He's not the first person. No, holy cow! He's not the first person that said this. Yeah, you are losing credibility globally based on your things that you're spreading online. You're highly tribalistic. You got religious
Now
problems. You got
you
bigotry.
see now,
Yeah, tribalism is
now he
hunting
has
you
come
down.
out
No, but
with this thing.
no,
He
but
has come out with
is it?
now.
One sec. Am I making
Now
this? Holy Tower.
let
Is this
me tell
true or
you.
no?
See, America is
Yeah,
about to reap
Someone prove me wrong.
it's true. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's like a small.
all the things you said. No, hold on,
Tunaja,
let me respond. He said a lot, and I didn't have a chance to respond. So the
Oh
only
my
point I
God,
made
this guy. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna
now
log
is
off. I'm done. I'm done with you, man.
log off, log
If you're
off,
gonna
log
be
off, log
defend,
off, log off. Me Fulani
come on.
supremacists, log off. So now let me finish what I
Oh
was
no,
saying.
come on. Let's not
You see,
go there,
Fulani
man.
supremacists. Let's not pretend. See,
you
let's
see, you
see the
see, you
point I
see.
made. Let me finish the point that I was making. I made a point that if, say, Igbo people in Nigeria were committing crimes, you will never hear Nigeria, this is Hausa, you will never hear other people, because the Igbo people are the ones that are numbered within Nigeria that are committing that crime. The West Africans will only be hearing about Igbos. But because it's Nigeria, and Nigeria is most populated in West Africa compared to Ghana, compared to Sierra Leone, whenever a crime is committed by Nigerians, you will get 5 Nigerians before you get 1 Sierra Leonean, even if it's proportionally the same. You will get 5 Nigerians before
Well,
you
these
get 1
crimes
Ghanaian,
are
even if it's
this
proportionally the
crime.
same.
This oh God, this guy.
Don't you understand?
You're
If
sifting
you
the goalpost.
you know the shifting that you are doing, you are being disingenuous, not recognizing that data. Because if 1 Sierra Leonean commits a crime and the same percentage of Nigerians commit a crime, it's going to be 6 times more, 7 times more. That, in other words, that crime now will be magnified that Nigerians commit that crime. They will not
But
recognize Sierra Leone.
but Tunaja, but why is it that everyone from every country are saying the same thing? So it's not
Because
just
of
that you're
this
too
same
tribalistic.
but
You're
Tunaja,
always
listen, Tunaja, it's not just
same
me.
information I just gave you.
But Tunaja, it's not like listen, like for example, right? If Ghanaians went and committed crime like in Asia and stuff, whatever, it will be documented. Hey, okay, these Ghanaians are a problem. You know, people from South Africa, Sierra Leoneans and Cameroonians, Benin and stuff, whatever. But it's just like even like when they come with their passport and stuff to whatever. I see a situation when I was in Qatar because this guy was from Nigeria. They held this guy up for hours in Qatar just because his passport said he was from Nigeria. You know,
tonight.
so
Just sit on the platform. Tonight, just sit on the platform. Like for the you sit on the platform for 12. Listen, I will if I will. Man sake, I will tag this guy one time. I'll bring no wait.
don't like
I'll tag him
tensions.
one time and
I
show
don't like
you exactly
pretentious.
what kind of what he will sit on the platform and talk about tribes, about religion, about this. These people, listen to me. These
I'm
people
not
in
denying
general,
that there's
their
tribalism in
mind
Nigeria. Did I deny that? I don't
exactly.
know why you're going
So
there.
so what I'm trying to
Is
say,
there
what
no
if you don't
tribalism in
fix your
Sierra
internal?
Leone?
No,
Isn't
we
that
don't.
part of
No,
the reason why they
hell
fought
no,
the civil war? Isn't
we
that
don't.
part of
Not
the reason
no
why they
for
fought the civil war?
every.
What are you
Oh my
going on
God,
about? You're in denial
Diners,
now too.
ask diners. Even diners will tell you that's
Oh
actually a
God, you
blatant
see now
lie.
you want to start. There's no
We
form of
never had a
tribalism here.
tribal war. Like
okay,
we don't
The
have
same
Hey
thing
a
guys,
happened
let me
tribal.
read the super
Tunaja,
chat.
go ahead,
Babaliko 9354. Thank you for $4. Could you do a live in Orania? Holy cow! I mean, could you go live in Orania? Holy cow! Why don't you go run them from there? All right, go ahead, Holy cow.
Okay,
Yeah,
actually, I've been to
wait.
sorry,
I've been to Oranje actually.
diners. Have we? The war in
Man,
Sierra Leone, was it a tribal war? Did we have a tribal war in Sierra Leone? As far as you know,
Yeah,
okay, I
diners.
thought I was
somewhat.
asked to answer the question.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Go and answer the question.
Yeah, okay. So could you live in Orania? Actually, I've been to Orania a number of times. So yes, I have. I've been there a number of times. What's the point?
I doubt it too.
I
Yeah,
guess
well,
he's asking
see,
you. I guess he's asking you if you could live amongst them. That's what he's
Africa.
asking.
Let me give you this number.
You know the people that
Wait,
like to
hold
talk
on,
about.
Tunaja, hold on.
Let me just land this thing about Orania. Let us not forget. Isn't Trump rolling out the red carpet for white Afrikaners because we are apparently killing them in South Africa in masses? And then somebody is now asking me if I would live in Orania. I've been to Orania a number of times. I've been there a number of times, and this thing that
I
we are
struggle to
afraid of
believe
white
that, brother.
somehow. It's okay, my man. You struggle to believe everything I say because you have a preconceived notion. You talked about a Namibian earlier on, only to come to find that it is what the story there is not what you said it is. So it's okay. Believe
That
me or
wasn't
don't
me. That was
believe
to
me.
Niger.
I've been.
Don't mistake me from.
I've been to Orania. I don't have a problem with Orania. A lot of black people don't have a problem with Orania. Maybe when Orania was established in the 1990s, but I mean it's 2026 now, bro. We can't be talking about stories from 1996.
Orania is a good idea. Okay, so Sierra Leoneans commit. They are incarcerated. They are actually incarcerated at a higher rate than Nigerians. 52 out of 100,000 Sierra Leoneans go to in prison, while in Nigeria the number is about
in Sierra Leone. In Sierra Leone.
Yes,
in
compared
Sierra
to
Leone.
Sierra Leone. So in other words, you guys
No,
go
but
to
in
jail
Sierra Leone.
for criminal. Hold
In
on,
Sierra Leone.
hold on. In Sierra Leone too.
In Sierra Leone,
In
not
Sierra Leone,
outside the
hold
country.
on now. Come on. See, because you don't know what is going on internationally. I keep telling you, you don't have a clue what you are talking about. You
We're
don't
not
know.
talking. We're not talking about. We're not talking about
You
internal
claim to be a man
issues.
of science and engineering, but you don't seem to know proportionality, what matters. Your country, they actually incarcerate more of your people at a rate higher than that of Nigerians. And the same thing with South Africa.
There's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind that.
There's a reason why South Africans they think that they don't travel overseas, when in reality they travel at a higher rate overseas than Nigerians, because they don't check data. They just assume stuff because of the paranoia and the stigma that you guys have somehow been conditioned to impose on Nigeria. That's why you have to go with data. And I asked you for, you said you were going to get data, and I just got one data to show you.
Listen. The Sierra Leone is a country where law and order function. It works. It's a place where you are not allowed to get away with certain level of crime. But in Nigeria, can I finish? I never interrupted you. In Nigeria, we know it's not the case. There's no such thing as law and order in Nigeria. You can get away with crime. You could be a terrorist. You could be out there let out in the street next day. So don't
Why are they not
compare
selling
it.
drugs
Come on, man.
everywhere in Nigeria? Then?
Yeah.
As if
Can you just
has
be quiet for a minute?
bigger drug problem than Nigeria.
No, we understand.
You want
Listen,
me to share the drug problem in Sierra Leone too?
when it comes to internal, listen. Are you listening to this? We are not outside the country. I'm talking about the crime committed outside the state, not inside. No, but you're not listening. You're not listening. Again, you're talking over me again. Again, you're talking over me. Again, you're talking over me. Okay, Sierra Leone is a country that been through like a brutal civil war. That nation is heavily a traumatized nation. Okay, so we have drug epidemic. Definitely, yes. There's no doubt about that. We have our country based on the civil war we had. The law is very stringent in terms of law and order and a lot of things in the country because we don't want to go back to that same old problem that we had. And anyone said that Sierra Leone war was a tribal war, they never been to Sierra Leone. It's an absolute big fat lie. We never had a tribal war. Our war is based well documented. It was, if you go to the museum, it's listed. There's so many different reasons why that is.
Real quick, Africa. They did when the rebels came into Freetown, they did target Creoles.
There's a specific group of people who were like, okay, we be talking about the Yoruba Creole, the Forobe Creole. Wait. I'll get to that. The Forobe Creole, the reason why they died more, it's not because they specifically target them. It's because of the area where they live. It's more like the entrance to the city. So there was more high casualty of their people. It's not because they target them specifically. That's one. Because so basically, it's because of the geography. It's not to do tribe. There's no evidence Sierra Leone war was tribal, religion, or region, or anything other than blood diamond. It was a diamond. It's mineral resource, and we know Forest Anko, he was behind it. But anyway, so that's the aspect.
Up. The diamond
I
is
will tell
located in a certain area. Hold on. The diamond is located in a certain area, and generally, people in that area are the ones fighting for those diamonds. and the other groups are looking to get access to it. That is how it works. And to pretend as if that is not the case, almost all civil wars are because of different groups in the country.
No, the Creole are not. The Creole have nothing to do with diamond. This is the Creole. The Creole have nothing to do with the mining industry or diamond or anything to do with that.
Sierra Leone has only one tribe.
No, you're not listening. The Connaught district, Connaught area, the east of Sierra Leone, is where the diamond were mined, and the rebels already entered and conquered that area. Like years before they got into the city. The city was their last target. Okay, and the area that they entered inside the city was majority. They have what they call Fulatown because the Creole are group of people. The Creole are not just made up of one. We have Fulani Creole. We have what they call Fula Creole in Fulatown. We have the Forobe Creole, which are the Yoruba Creole. They're opposite to each other on this like a main road called Kisti Road. If you the other side, the right side of the road is Forobe. The left side of the road is Fulatown. If you go the other side, it's Kintong. That's where like the Caribbean. So it's like a mixture. Okay, but the Forobe area was heavily hit because of the houses that they have as well. And there's different reason other than tribe, why they were killed, why they lost a bit more. But also the ECOMOG military soldiers who came to Sierra Leone to rescue apparently done more massacre, than so the rebels. Most Sierra Leoneans said they actually think the ECOMOG, the Nigerian army, done more killing than the rebels. So I don't know. So we can break it down to that. But all I'm trying to say is, even in the UK, look, even in the UK right now, even in the UK, even in the UK, I'll give you two examples, right? When the Conservative was in power, there was no space in prison. Do you know why? Because it was uh, there was heavy on law and order. So minor little crime, you committed minor little crime, they send you to prison. And when the Labour come into power, they reduce those things, saying, right, you don't have, if you commit just by insulting someone, we don't have to send you to prison for that. So just to reduce the prison population. So it all depends on how the country, laws function and how they enforce the law.
What you are saying now, I will believe you, but the problem I have with people like you and people that talk about other countries, like the way you speak about Nigerians, you don't qualify your statement and you make prejudicial statements because of your own prejudice, and you pretend as if you're not doing it.
I didn't. Everybody.
Hold on, let me finish now. Don't talk, please. Let me finish. But then when I go and start providing evidence to show that what you are saying is wrong, instead of you to back down and say, okay, I'm taking correction, you start making excuses, and I will be generous enough to say, okay, I understand this. But you will still go back again to that conditioning and still continue stigmatizing Nigerians.
I've been honest with you that we was conditioned not to trust Nigerians since I was young. That's just a fact. Manzik, would you like that when you was young as well or not?
Yeah, grown up now.
I'll give you a funny story, right? Let me tell you a funny story.
Okay.
When I was young, I had a friend from Kenya, right? For some reason, his mom used to be so mean to me. Like, she didn't want me in the house for nothing, right? Until one day she wasn't home, and what's his face? I was in the house, and then what happened was she came and she told the son in Swahili, why is he here, right? And so he said, why he can't stay here? She's like, oh, because he's Nigerian. And I had to tell her, no, I'm not Nigerian. She's like, and then she came, she hugged me, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I thought you was Nigerian, because she didn't go into detail what was the experience with Nigerian. She just like, I thought you was Nigerian. I apologize. And then she let me go, and then she been friends with me ever since. So I have no idea what was her experience and stuff or whatever, but that's what happened.
I'm just being honest, and I will always stick by it. And whether you like me or not, I'm just telling it as it is. And my personal experience, how I was brought up, and people I know, they will tell you why exactly said to you. We was conditioned.
Sometimes you see how people suddenly after Israel goes, South Africa goes after Israel in the international court of justice, and suddenly South Africa is having problems. Maybe there is a reason why Nigerians are stigmatized the way we are stigmatized. Just like we are conditioned to be against each other. South Africans are conditioned to be against Africans. Africans are conditioned to be against this in Nigeria, and East Africans are conditioned to be against Ethiopia. They locked Ethiopia up.
Can I tell you the reason why?
Let me see what I'm saying. Okay. I'm seeing a pattern here where powerful nations are a kind of isolated in Africa. The powerful black nations are isolated. The only one that hasn't been isolated so far is Kenya, at least if you consider Kenya a heavyweight at all. But South Africa, Nigeria, and Ethiopia are kind of isolated in Africa. And these are the most powerful nations. Maybe there's a reason why that is happening. And you said it yourself. You were conditioned against Nigerians. Is it based on objective data? Not necessarily true. But here we are. We keep doing it nonetheless.
Okay.
Tonight, I just want to say to you, brother, listen, just because we are pointing this out, it does not mean that we are against Nigerians. I've already told you that I think Nigerians are very talented people. If I'm being honest with you, I think the most talented people in Africa. But we have got this specific problem, and us pointing it out does not mean that now you have to defend the honor of Nigeria as if Nigeria is being attacked. This is a real problem. I was warned by a Nigerian against Nigerian, a Nigerian guy who said he was making an honest living and said, Andrew, don't go there. Don't mess with those guys. Those guys are into some stuff that you will not like. You understand? It was a Nigerian that told me that about a Nigerian. And he was selling, he was a street vendor doing his own thing. Because I used to buy from him. He's a street vendor doing his own thing. He says, you can't be hanging out with these guys. I'm warning you.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you? What did you learn from that statement?
I learned from that statement that there are some Nigerians that I should not be hanging out with, and by him telling me
Nigerians,
and by him
Nigerian telling warning you, a good Nigerian is warning you against a bad Nigerian.
Tunija, I promise you, you will not die if you let me finish my point. Just breathe, brother. By him telling me that,
how do you know? How do you know? How do you know? How can you not have any evidence of that? How can you say that? If I know you don't know, what are you going on about?
But on a serious note, though, a Nigerian was warning me about Nigerians. He was not saying because guys are bad, therefore Nigeria, all of Nigeria is bad. We are not saying that. We are just pointing out what is out there for everybody to see, a problem that Nigeria needs to address. Remember, a Nigerian pointed out these Nigerians. He did not say, because of these guys, all Nigeria, including myself, we are bad. He said, these guys, you have a problem. You need to fix my problem. We're not attacking Nigeria. We are not.
And I would do the same thing. If I see those Nigerians, I will warn you too. If I see this Nigerian, I too will do the same. And I like the way you talk about it. That's why I don't have any issue the way you are discussing this Nigerian matter. It's the way Africa seems to be doing it. That's the one
you always have to blame me for something, ain't you? I mean, the personal issue you got with me, you can't hide it. You always got problem with you. Listen, United. There's one thing that me and you can both agree on. That you're you've got Fulani phobia. We all know that because we know you sit on the platform, 24/7 talk about Fulani. Well, you do. You actually, I can actually say that. You do. No. You sit on a platform for 2-3 days. No, hold on. You sit on a platform for 2-3 days, talk about my tribe and talk like you actually sit on a platform where you get like super chat, talk about how the Fulani with no evidence. No, when you sit on a platform. I'm just saying, you sit on a platform. That's why I'm looking. When I look at you, I'm so glad that guy called Maska is there. The Hausa guy. He is from the north.
I defend Fulanis and Northerners all the time.
He's there. He's northerner. He's pointing. No. Let's not talk. Let's not twist the conversation because you're trying to do it. You'll be trying so hard, didn't you, to change the topic? But what I'm trying to say is, we so many times. No, listen. I'm not far. Listen, I'm never shy from it. I come here and I criticize my people for the wrongdoing, and I'll defend them when people trying to spread the narrative that doesn't suit us. That's the fact. But the reality is, when someone is doing the same thing about other ethnic group, they want to be silenced and they want to silence you. And when you now you see how it's like when someone is generalizing, like what that Nigerian Fulani. Now they talk about Nigeria. You're going is the level of hypocrisy.
I've hardly heard you talk about the havoc many Fulanis are causing in Africa, in Nigeria, I mean. Or many African countries.
Mansik can hear, Mansik have
hardly heard you once talk
okay,
about
wait.
But every time you're talking about
Mansik had me,
all the time.
Dinus had me so many times. Yeah. So everybody, so many people can hear me. I always say I don't give a shit about these people. If they get involved in that shit, they get wiped out. Even in the AES, that's none of my business. We have no business with them. But you finish, you're very selective in what you want to hear. But that's fine. Let's not change this conversation. What I'm trying to say is,
he's a proud Nigerian man. He's a proud Nigerian man, and he loves.
Yeah, he's proud.
I will defend Nigerian and everybody because it's not fair on Nigeria. Because how can you in good conscience watch a nation that is one of the most selfless in the world be maligned continuously and you keep quiet? And I say to my fellow,
no, it's not right. It's not right. It's not right. I agree with that, and I think that more Nigerians should be coming out defending Nigeria like the way you're doing it. Because until you do that, listen, if you do not love yourself as a nation, nobody is going to love you. If you don't respect yourself, the problem that you have, the problem that you have in Nigeria, you're not keeping your problem in house. Now, for example, the only way you find out about Sierra Leone issue, we have so many problems in Sierra Leone. I'm going to be real with you. We probably have loads of problems than loads of other countries. But do you know why? I'm not going to come online and slag my country down and slag my leader down all the time. I'm more into solution. I try to connect and try to, I go to Sierra Leone panels all the time and I preach unity. If I hear someone trying to say, oh, the Yoruba or the Creole, the foreigners or the Fulanese or the Mende or the Temne, I'm going to go in there straight away and cut them off. I don't even want that coming out because our problem should be intact. We always been like that. And even when it comes to religion, that's what I'm glad. I don't buy it, but Nigerians need to start keeping their problem inside. South Africans got their own problem within their own group, but you never hear them come online and slag each other out. Even like now, it's a Yoruba man as a president. You're gonna hear all the other tribes, saying, "Oh, Yorubas are wicked," this and that. Or when Buhari was the president, or Fulanis are wicked. When Igbo man is the president, oh, Igbo people are wicked. All these things need to stop. It's like we don't want to hear it. If you can fix it,
I agree with you on that one. On that
yeah,
one, I can't
if you can, thank you, Tunaja. I'm so glad that you do because me and you can get on from now on. If you cannot fix that problem,
it's not going to last.
Yeah, no.
it just takes one of those your Fulani statements for me to get back on your back. So I think
no, but it's true. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: South Africa for a generation has in their name, and this episode is not over. And it's going to reach the African Union, and it might actually result in some serious action against South Africa. For the life of me, I don't know how South Africa fell into this trap. After you just went to Israel, this is the international court, to take Israel to court, you didn't prepare, and suddenly your country is found in this position that now Israel they responded the other day saying, you see, the country that took us to court, look at them, what are they doing to the people? Now other people are running away from their country because they are persecuting them.
Exactly.
I don't know how they walked into this one. A minister of state comes out to tell Nigerians,
I'm going to push back.
This problem is going to... See, you guys don't know. And no matter what you say, you will never really know the impact of what you people are doing now. For 2 or so generations, South Africa's name has been tarnished. It's gone. Because this is not the first time. You've been doing it for decades.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine in South Africa, the white South Africans decide to turn on black South Africans tomorrow and they get help from the outsiders? How would the black South Africans manage to...
They've tried already and they ran away. Remember, the white South Africans that Donald Trump is busy importing in America right now. This is not the first time they bring up this issue of white genocide. They've done it before. They've gone to, I think, to the UN or the ICJ, one of those international bodies. They've been there before and they were laughed out. So white South Africans will never have the power that they had in apartheid South Africa. And secondly, the other thing, my man, the scales of the economy in South Africa are changing drastically from what they were pre-1994 to where they are right now in 2026. South Africa has challenges. South Africa has problems like any other country. We are not going to shy away from that. We are not going to hide from that. We've got problems just like any other country in the world that has problems. But compared to where we were pre-1994 to where we are today, my man, you guys keep saying that blacks are afraid of whites. My neighbors are white. It looks like they're the ones who are afraid of me, because if somebody tries that racist nonsense in my presence, wherever it is, I stop it right then and there. If somebody tries tribalist nonsense where because you are Zulu, therefore you should not be in this province, we attack it as South Africans where it is. Now, the issue that you guys need to understand, when we began with this March and March, the media, the government, and all of these NPOs were against what the South Africans were saying. You can look right now for yourself on YouTube, listen to each and every time Jacinta has been interviewed. We've reiterated one thing. We do not have a problem with Africans being in South Africa. What we have a problem with is illegal immigrants. That is what we are having a problem with, and they are
Ernest,
causing a burden in
Hello,
the,
want
and
sorry,
they
my
are
brother.
causing
Hello, want
a
to come
burden
in.
in the
Can you let
system.
Hello in, please, Ernest? Yeah.
All right, go ahead,
All right.
hello. Well, go ahead and finish, Holy Cow, and pass the hello.
All right, thank
Oh
you,
my
brother.
God.
So,
Can I speak or
do
let
you
you on?
understand?
No, no, I'll wait. I'll
Oh
wait.
yeah, you can speak, sister. No,
No, I'll
you
wait.
can.
I have all
Okay.
the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sister. So what I was saying is our problem is illegal immigrants. Okay, that's the problem here. Now, there will be elements like in any other march anywhere in the world, in the States, when there are people that are marching, there will always be those that will want to take advantage of the opportunity to do their own criminal things. South African police is there to deal with them. The problem here is illegal immigrants. You can pull out any video where a South African is speaking candidly about this. We don't say migrants for a reason, because our problem is illegal. We need to first sort out the illegal ones and tighten our border. Because for you, you might think the way that South Africans are reacting right now, it's inhumane, it's this, and that. And because I stay in the suburbs, I don't stay in the townships where these problems are. I cannot look down on those people. I need to understand what the issue is. I need to understand, okay, maybe you're taking it a bit too far here, but I hear what your grievance is. Until you guys try to understand what the grievance of South Africans are, we're not going to move on with this. These matches are going to carry on happening, and people are going to be posting videos upon videos upon videos, and they will be debunked every time. Like the story I'm about to share on the chat right now, that's already been debunked about a Ghanaian guy. But the issue is illegal immigration. We need to control illegal immigration, guys. South African citizens are tired. It is not the government, it is not the media, it is not the police. It is the people that are affected by illegal immigrants in their communities. I am far removed from that. I'm in the suburbs. I live a nice life. I've done well for myself. I give back to the community where and in those charities where I support. I hired 3 Zimbabweans in the company I work for. So Zimbabweans are not the problem. It's the illegal ones that are the problem. Thank you.
I think it's hello. I think it's hello, Stone.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, go ahead, hello.
Hello, Dynast. I thought you banned me. I've been waiting behind.
Nobody banned you. Hello,
Are you
nobody
sure?
banned you.
I was saying,
I
no,
pause.
I'm
Let me
coming
read.
back.
Let me read this super chat. Emma's squad gave me. Thank you for the holla. He said, can you live there and not work or visit? Go ahead, hello. The floor is yours.
All right. I've been listening in the background off and on. My brother, Africa. Sometimes I've said most things you say, 90% I agree. Yeah, but
Okay.
1% of the things you say about Nigeria robs me. But I don't come online to, kind of defend Nigeria, or because I do believe that Nigeria has to get better. Coming to defend Nigeria in front of you is not going to actually make Nigeria better, because for people to understand my beautiful country, you need to be there and actually mingle with the locals. I do understand the way the world is fashioned, and I know about the Kissinger report, and I know that um, there can be external forces that are divisive, that raises divisions amongst people, divide and conquer. And I also know we have sellouts among ourselves in Nigeria. Yeah. So I am not coming online to prove to anyone the worth of my country, because my country is the most beautiful country in the world, but it has problems like every other countries. And I will never come online to talk down on any other country. I've never done that. If you see Nigerians online, they are talking about the shit that are going on in Nigeria. Nigerians are, maybe I would say every African is unique. The problems South Africans are facing and the way they go about it is unique to them. Kudos to them. I'm not against them chasing away illegals, but I'm going to ask, millions or hundreds of years ago, was Nigeria where it is now? I would say everyone is an illegal, but I do understand that I do not support crime. I can't stand crime. I cannot. Because when there is no law and order, there is no socks. The country is not going to move forward. It's wrong for anyone to go to any country and commit any crime. Even in the UK here, when I'm on the street, I see people spitting and throwing beans around. I'm like, why are you doing that? Even an English person did that in front of me. I'm like, you're English, and he said yes. I said, you complain about foreigners coming to destroy your country, but you are helping to destroy your own house. I am a foreigner, and what you have done is despicable. Can you pick that rubbish up, please? And he's used the F word on me, and I'm like, wow. So we have good people in every countries. When people come online to talk about other countries in even a fraction of despicable manner, without even understanding the fabric of that country or what they're going through, I think is highly disrespectful. I cannot use a brush paint to brush the whole Fulanese, but we know what's happening in Nigeria. Yeah. And and we know about IPOP and all those things. I am proud Igbo, yeah, and I do not support everything they do, but I cannot take it anyone talking down on about my origin publicly, like as if they know me. You're speaking about Igbos, and I'm one of them, and I am not a criminal, and I have represented my origin everywhere I've been. I've
Did I
worked with
mention
my head.
Igbo? Did I speak about Igbo
You,
today?
my brother, not today, but you're learning. Maybe you're learning from me somehow. You're learning from
I
me.
didn't.
Because you know, say
Yeah,
I go
but yeah, go
strangle you now. And if I strangle you, if you talk about my tribe anyhow. You know now. I go find you for London,
yeah,
strangle you.
yeah.
So the thing is, I
You
would
suffer me
want
up. You
Africa
suffer me
to
up
move.
a little bit still.
Yeah, now,
It's
but
good.
we should work together. I have
Yeah,
never
it's
been to
true.
South Africa, and it's never going to be my destination. Not because it's a bad country, because um I have never thought about it. So I don't understand why people will be disgracing you, making fun of you, beating you, and asking you to leave. I know that those people that have left for a reason, that maybe where they are, they're not making ends meet for some reason. Yeah, but if people say, leave my country, and it's not like it's Europe, I'm gonna leave. I would leave. I will not be there. I've never been to any other African country, believe you me. And I don't even know if I will. I have always lived in my country, Nigeria, and then up until I came to the UK for personal reasons. You understand? And I work here I've never collected any benefit, and I don't cheat the system, because I do believe that whatever you do comes back to you one way or other. We have good Nigerians. So I do believe, from what I'm seeing online, initially I thought it was a joke, but the amount of attacks on Nigerians, even people that don't know Nigeria, is like them say, mama told me, papa told me. So if you're being brought up in hatred, why can't you make research? And you've said before, you've met some good Nigerians. Zero your mind whenever you meet anyone. It doesn't matter where they come from. If I see someone, I don't care where you come from. I don't care what color you are. If you disrespect me, I will give it back to you million folds. But you respect me, I will lick your boot. That's me. So I don't like it how you people, join in destroying Nigeria, because Nigerians are so passionate about their pain that they come out publicly to say it. That's why they are unique. They don't cover evil. They are not like other African countries that hide their problems, like as if they are innocent, like they are Saint Obi, they have atrocities in their countries, but they cover it. Please, don't say. No, Nigerians are not like that. We are shouting inside, we are shouting outside. Nigeria, if you see a Nigerian and then you see the color, you will see the color of Nigerians are not chameleons. That's why a lot of people behind closed doors prefer to deal with us, because if a Niger say, I will do you this, Niger will do it. That's Nigerians. They are not hypocrites, they are not snakes. You will see it. If Niger don't like you, will know. So please, especially you, Africa, you say we should be defending our countries, yeah? Anytime you mention Igbo, wait for me. I'll be jumping up and coming to meet you here. But I know you've
I'm
slowed
waiting for
down.
you.
No, don't wait for me, because me and you fight. You won't like it. Because I don't have shame,
Hello,
Nah,
thank you so much.
Nigeria is not get shame. Yeah.
Hello,
no.
thank you so much.
I learned a lot by speaking to you, understanding some of the differences between some of the hate group that I hear online that speak a lot of stuff about my people. Because over the years, it's kind of been better now, though. I ain't gonna lie. But over the years, I told you why I came online. It's about
Yeah.
the hatred towards my ethnic group, because there are people that are dedicated. Because listen, I have people in the US and in the UK who are working for the Secret Service, a lot intelligent, that are dedicated. You're right. There are people who have been paid, to go online to tarnish the
To
reputation of my
destroy
ethnic group
Nigeria. They want to destroy my
and
country, but
my
it ain't gonna happen.
and the Fulani tribe, to be specific. I'm telling you,
Yes,
I have spoke to
I do
people.
believe
I
that. I
have,
do believe that.
yes, yes. But the thing is, because of the kind of people who we are and how we are as people, and the kind of connection that we have, and how we're grounded in West Africa, is not possible. That's why, if you notice, you don't get any response from the Fulani people. Part of people like me and Bang that will come online now and again and talk. Majority of Fulani people, they will not say anything. They're more reactive more than speaking, and it's because it's one of the principle of being a Fula. It's about be able to deal with perseverance. Be reserved, don't talk, just act. And this is what
But
makes you a
but
Fula.
but, but
Me,
Africa, these things happening
hmm.
online is mostly online noise. When you come to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nigeria,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. But
Fulanese are marrying the
information,
Igbos, and they're just with each
mm,
other. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
why I
I
ask you,
understand
come
that.
to Nigeria
Mm.
and see for yourself.
No,
Don't go by
listen,
what anyone
I
told
have
you.
break. Even though like I haven't spoken. I used to, yeah, quite a while ago. I used to speak quite blatantly about
About
people that
Igbos,
actually
yes, you,
come.
you did
Yes,
you
I
did
used
say
to.
one time that everyone should begin to start to attack my tribe. I'm like, what? Don't do
Well,
that now.
no, but listen, I got listen. I told you I got personal relationship with even people back in Sierra Leone, and that's how it stays, even here in the UK.
Was it
But
a
all
good
I'm trying to say is,
experience? Was it a good or
yeah,
bad
they're very good people.
experience?
They're very good people. They're the ones I met. They're
Okay,
good
that's
people,
it.
and I made them feel comfortable in my city. And not only Igbo people, the city I live, I have made loads of people feel comfortable. I actually helped Senegalese people set up their community center, and I introduced them to my local MP. I have a very good connection in this country, not alone the city I live. I have helped so many people. My cousin, believe me or not, I swear to my life, I'm speaking to you guys today. My cousin is the one that helped all the Nigerians who live in South London and in London, most of their worship, the places that you go to worship, most of the church that you enter in London, most of the mosque that you enter in London, most of the community centers that you enter in London, my cousin is behind it. My cousin worked, he was a consultant with Harriet Harman in London. Okay, I don't know if you know who Harriet Harman is. Yeah, the
Yeah,
MP, the
yeah, that
female MP.
politician.
Yes, he's a consultant to Ruto in Kenya. He was in Kenya last week. Okay, he's the guy that helped most Nigerians who set up churches, worshiping place of worship. He's you don't fool out like me.
I don't even
He's the
support
one
all
that
those
helped them.
churches that are everywhere. They
No, but
should
I'm just
reduce
saying,
the number of
this
churches, you know.
sister, I'm just saying,
I
majority
know,
of the
but
people that
I'm
he
not.
helped, yeah, majority of those people that he helped are Nigerians and from Ghana and
Mm.
Sierra Leoneans because they want to go. These people came here back in the days, right? Because he's been
Why are
here a
they
long
just
time.
helping them to build churches? Why don't they help them to set up businesses? Why churches?
He don't lose that. He don't lose that. Okay, he work
Churches, too
in a
much of
level.
churches is
Yeah,
not gonna
yeah,
help
but
Africa.
African people were obsessed with religion, culture, and
I
certain
think
type
it's
of things.
another way of colonization and brainwashing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I done so. Wait, listen, I have done so much. The city I live before you can come around there if you're African, especially if you're Nigerian. This was a strong Jamaican stronghold city. If you open your mouth and you don't speak patois, you're in trouble. You can't even get anywhere. I have saved so many people from losing slumber in this city. I
I
have
do
people set up
believe you're a
community.
good person, Africa. You have
Yeah, but but
when
yeah,
you talk. One moment, when you talk and I listen to you, you have balanced way of seeing things. No one is perfect. Sometimes you know
yeah,
because
yeah.
everyone one can be what's that thing? What's that word? When there's always 1% of someone not being perfect. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, we're not perfect.
the way you say things, if it was Ban now, I would have not believed because I I listen to Ban and I know he's very intelligent and he has good
Mm,
points when he wants to make
mm,
points that move Africa
mm.
forward. But when he
Yeah,
goes into his the mindset of tribe, it gets a bit I think with time, when we
yeah.
if we need to visit each other's country, we need to learn more about each other. We have to come together. South Africa
Mm,
is not perfect. I don't like the way they went about it. They have the right to tell people, you know, they have the right to speak up, but they could have gone through their
yeah.
government and the government not allow people to go on the street to just become lawless by taking laws into their hands. But I
Mm-hmm.
do not support criminality. You know, if they find Nigerians carrying powder anywhere in the world, if it is by hanging, I support it 200%. I
No,
do.
I don't support hanging. I don't
But
support hanging. I
And
think people should be in prison.
why would you want to keep someone that is selling powder for?
No, but they should be rehabilitated. I always believe in rehabilitation.
Like Boko, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
yeah,
Maybe they will
hello,
repent. Maybe they will repent, but
yeah, yeah.
hello,
it's blood money. It's blood
Yeah,
money.
wait, she's
hello.
finished. Let her finish. Let her finish quick. Yeah,
I'm
I
Okay.
done.
understand that. I know you don't support
Yeah, I just
criminality. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, go on. Are you finished? Hello.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
What you gonna?
Um, we need to before I address you. By the way, thank you so much. You are actually a breath of fresh air. I love the way that you are balanced in how you are handling all of this. Thank you so much for that because we as the guys we've been going at it for a while now. But I appreciate the feminine energy. Thank you so much, sister. But I need to make this clear. I'm going to make it clear again. The issue here is not Africans, it is with the illegals. And we have been going to the for years now until it reached the point that it has reached. And the way we went about it now, guys, we march, okay? When we march, we protest, we go straight to government buildings to hand them memorandums. Now, like I said earlier on, with any other match that happens, wherever you are in the world, there are always going to be people that will see that as a chance for them to do what they need to do for their own criminal behavior. And as I've said, SEPS, the South African Police Service, has dealt with those people in our marches. The march on the 30th of June, there were people that tried to take advantage of the march. Those people were arrested. That march was happening all over the country. That march was happening all over the country. Can you guys honestly say where you were watching the marches from? Did you see Africans being attacked left, right, and center? No, they were not. Were there incidents that went out of hand? I can't say they were. I can't say they were not because I was not everywhere. I'm also aware that certain incidents were blamed on the march when they had nothing to do at all with the march, such as the case with the two Ghanaian guys, such as the case with the Namibian truck driver that was being targeted by a criminal syndicate that is attacking trucks. Whether you are South African, whether you are blue, green, white, if you are driving a truck, that criminal syndicate is going to attack you. But by far, this has been the best way for South Africans to handle this issue. And every Thursday when we are marching to the government buildings to submit our memorandums because we need to deal with the illegal immigration crisis that is a burden on our system. We've been doing this for over a decade now with nobody listening to South Africans. And I'm going to be the first one to say this. If there's any violence in the marches, if there's been any violence anywhere, I condemn that. I know the leaders of March and March condemn that. I don't want violence. I'm condemning violence. I condemn it. So if we heard those incidents, let me not say if, because I was not there, I don't know. Those incidents that happened were minor incidents, but I condemn those incidents. But how would you guys suggest that South Africans go about handling this? Because we are marching to the government buildings. How else can we handle this?
Can
Give
I
us
say
advice,
something
please.
then? Okay, what I want to say, I'm not South African. I'm a proud Nigerian. Any day, anytime. Yeah. I don't know if you're a media personality. You present yourself very well, and I have respect for you and your opinions. But this is my voice. You may not like it, and you may pick some things because we all learn from one another. No man is an island in this day and age. That the way the things are progressing now, I think we are better together in Africa. I know our African countries have to fix themselves, but divided we fall. You can still do stuff in love and achieve what you want. You can do things legally. When I mean legal, you take the legal route. You won't go wrong. If if the whole continent is pointing, do you know what I mean? Or if everyone is complaining about something, don't see it as someone, you know, is up against you. Perhaps sit down, have a quiet moment, look inside yourself, and I'm like you want to be the best for your country. You want your country to work best. And that is what I wish for you. But you can handle things differently. And you're going to get different positive results from other African countries. And they will now be the ones that will even lend their voices for you, for your country and say, these bloody people, bloody Nigerians or whoever that are selling powder, we don't support you. You know, stuff like that. But if everyone, 10, 20 countries come together and condemn, then you need to have a pause and say, maybe next time, how about we do it this way? You can march, but march straight to your government house. Don't go on the street and take the laws into your hands. I saw videos, those videos are not old, where there were violence. And some, Fakulum Takatum was saying it was a AI. He denied physically assaulting someone. And there had been incidents of people being quiet. I would have been happier that South Africa, become even more lawful by arresting anyone who had broken the laws. And those people that were physically assaulting people on the video, where are they today? They are walking free. There was a woman from Zimbabwe selling food on the street, and someone from South Africa, a male, bought food and didn't want to pay. The woman got upset. People gathered, and the woman proceeded in pouring water on the guy. You know what the guy did? I suppose no country is perfect. My country is bloody not perfect, yes. But I believe it will get better, yeah? So this guy pulled out toy and toy him. Just there, and then walked away casually. Nothing happened. He walked away. Broad daylight. My country is not perfect. We have problems. Huge problems, because we are over 200 and something million people. Our problems will be definitely bigger than your country, because the population, multiply 1% of a crime times the ratio of Nigerian population. That's why Nigerians are everywhere. It looks as if they are committing most of the crimes. No, that is why they are saying mathematics is important. The ratio and proportionality, yeah, and probability as well. So if 1% of Nigerians, say 1% of Nigerians commit crime worldwide, do you know how many that would be? Compared to 1% of South Africans, compared to 1% of Sierra Leoneans, compared to 1% of Ghanaians. That's what Africans fail to realize, that no country is perfect. But for the fact that Nigerians are allowed outside because of bad governance, doesn't mean you guys should push us down. When we are down, you march on us. You spit at us. You call us rubbish, even though you know that some of us are not rubbish. You deny us. But in your own sick times, we came to your rescue. How can you forget that? And you want me to be happy with you taking laws into your hands? I respect your call. It's genuine. But please do it the right way. Make us learn from you so that we can all liberate ourselves, isn't it? If you do it and get it right, don't you think that other Africans will copy South Africa and hold their governments accountable? But should we now do what you have done? Imagine we done what you have done to South Africa. Don't you know there are a lot of South Africans in Nigeria? Do you know how many people that are Africans in Nigeria? Nigeria is hosting a lot of Africans. But I've never one day asked someone, where are you from? You sound different. Oh, where are you from? I don't have that time. I'm busy. And we'll never do that, regardless of how much less love you guys show us. I am a proud Nigerian. Maybe the way we are confident and that intimidate people don't mean I'm better than anyone, no. But the way things we go through in Nigeria make us, think a certain way and do things a certain way don't mean we are always right or perfect. We are humans just like you. But if you guys don't want to treat us, with respect, no problem. But my advice for you is do it lawfully. I do not care how many Nigerians you throw out of your country. It doesn't bother me. But it bothers me when you molest my blood. Yoruba, Fulani, Hausa in Nigeria, in your country, because no one is going to help them because of you think my government can't do nothing, then you molest them, you beat them, you spit at them, you shit at them, you kill them like rats. That's when I will be upset. But if you deport them, they are criminals, put them in jail, quite them. If they've carried powder, I will clap for you, because we don't need such in our society. No one is perfect, but I do believe that poverty is not equals to crime. It's better for you to beg than going into criminality, because when someone commits crime, it becomes a hobby, and then becomes a job, and then it's in the bloodstream. How are you going to cure such a person? That's my idea for you, brother. I wish you all the best. Please, next time, maybe listen to some other Africans that are not even Nigerians. Maybe, how to go
Yeah,
about it.
I am not
Focus on
Nigerian.
your government. Thank you.
I wanna add something too.
Thank you, sister. Well said. Well said.
Can I
Well
add
said.
something to Africa?
Yeah, of course, man. Sake. Yeah, come.
Okay, yeah. I was just saying that too. Is like to my brother from South Africa. Like, there's been certain videos that's kind of disturbing that I've seen. Like Africa was saying that there's one Nigerian guy had like a salon, and he had the legal documents, had been there for some time, did investment, hired South Africans and stuff. Like I said, it's not all, But and like you said before, no holy cow, that you got some who would take advantage of March on March, but they went to this guy and he was explaining to him, hey, I have a business here. If you want me to leave, I have no problem. I'll leave. I want to make sure if I give my business, I want to give it to the right person and make sure that they hire South Africans, right? Which was a legitimate claim. The response was from that guy was, I don't care, you're not from here. Just go back to your country. We just don't want you with her. We're not paying you for nothing, And then he's like, hey, listen, I'm just saying, I want to make sure. He's like, I don't give a damn. Just leave, Like for the ones that's like you said, I agree with you. If they're coming to your country illegally, they need to be dealt with, whatever, I don't know, like if you guys can call Home Affairs. They come to, if you feel like, hey, they're illegal in the country, instead of the people taking it into their own hands, let those people come and go to those businesses and verify the documents instead of having people verify the documents. Because sometimes when I'm seeing,
hey, guys, we got to close out. But we'll come back on tomorrow. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe to Next Time Family.
Thank you.
Search for Peace. Bye.
Bye bye.